Hi, everybody. Say hi, Polly.
Hello.
How are we today? Polly, how are you today?
I'm doing all right.
Just all
And
right.
how are you?
I am feeling good. I had family come down to school this weekend to see my cousin in the opera, and I watched the opera too. By the way, the opera is boring.
I've heard that.
It's not boring so much as it's very lulling. If that makes sense, it makes me fall asleep.
Really? It's not loud enough to
No,
keep you awake now?
no. That's like the kind of music that I would probably listen to fall asleep, honestly, if I really needed to. I don't know why. It's just very soothing because it's got the orchestra in there and the singing. And my grandmother used to play, or still plays it now, even to this day, just to enjoy it. And I have very fond memories of just conking out at the kitchen table while she's listening to her opera because she loves the opera. My grandmother is a very classy woman. She tried to culture all of her grandchildren, and it worked to varying degrees.
Did you just call yourself a disappointment, low key?
In some ways, certainly. But in other ways, no. Because I'm still her little angel. I didn't carry on with the violin the same way that all the other grandchildren did.
You're her little angel.
But okay.
Sideways evidence she does not watch this show.
To be fair, she calls everyone her little angels.
Oh, really? That was like you. That wasn't your descriptor. That's hers.
That's hers. Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
She calls my boyfriend a little angel. And if she probably met you, she'd probably start calling you her little angel as well. After one conversation.
Oh my God, you're such a little angel.
No. My little angel. But man. She's a delight to be around. You cannot feel at all downtrodden or like you're worthless around her because she has this way of building up people. It's really nice.
Okay, I'm gonna need about 20 minutes to get properly caffeinated. I'm just letting everybody know what the deal is.
That's fair. Speaking of everyone, hello everyone. How are you in chat? I see Lion Patriot. I see Ryan Walters. I see Pincalo. I see Assassins. Thank you for shilling the show, by the way. Always appreciated. Shio's here. We have Faithless. Did I say Golden Age Radio? If I didn't, I erase. Angela, Chicago Mike. Everyone, thank you for showing up. Daniel, I love the fact that we have some normies here, people who just watch the show.
What? People who just watch the show. What do you mean?
Just watch the show on the regular, like they tune in
because they like our personalities. Makes them normies. That's a little derisive of you.
What do you mean? Wait, what?
Well, they could be down with the memes. They could understand red pillisms.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
What did I do?
Define normie?
Well, like normies in the sense that. Oh, okay. Maybe that's not the right word. Okay, they are regulars.
Yeah, I think you meant regulars. I just clued in right before you say. Oh, you meant regulars. Normies are like.
Sorry, not normies. Regulars. Okay, I meant
normies are like. I tune into CNN because they're centrist news and they're unbiased. Like
it came out of my face, and I intended it for it to mean like. Normies and what you would understand the traditional. These are normal, regular viewers or whatever.
I hear
you. You know, okay, I'm sorry. To be fair, I've had a little bit to drink. Nana Jones has treated me to at least 2 beers already. So,
her little angel?
She treated me.
Oh my God.
Nana Jones is a great woman and knows how to party. It's funny. She's got this normal drink, right? It's a dry Southern Comfort Manhattan. Like 2 parts Southern Comfort, 1 part vermouth with a little bit of ice. And she asks every single time we go to any bar or any place with a bar, if that is a drink that they have available, if they have Southern Comfort, and that is what she drinks. If not, it's a gin and tonic with lime. But it's always so overcomplicated because not only is she ordering the drink, but the 3 people that she's sitting with is also ordering her drink for her, because she's gotten to that age where she has people doing things for her, everything. Like, she has people being her eyes because she can't see very well. So she has people looking literally for her. She has people paying for her with her credit card instead of like her putting down the bill or footing the bill in that way. Like, it's like she's got a pack of servants following her at every given point in time. Because when you get to a certain age, you can rely on people to just take up responsibilities for you, I guess. I can't wait to get old. Then I have a whole bunch of servants running around.
I can't wait to get old. Weebo Jones, 2020.
I jest. But you understand, right? If you had the opportunity to not do all of the tedious, busybody work that you do in your everyday life, would you take up that opportunity? Because then it opens the door for a whole bunch of other stuff.
Oh, hey, I've been saying for years I could use an executive assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, I don't know, what's my executive assistant's name?
Gerald.
So why a man?
Do you want a female executive assistant? You should have said so.
Okay, so Gerelda calls me in the morning and it's like, all right, so Mr. Dubenstein, what's on the schedule for today? All right, Gerelda, I want you to find out. I want you to give me a copy of this book because I want to read it. No. Well, give me the audio book too. And then
I can read along while it's talking to me.
Yes. So I can go back and forth. I want that option, which is a thing on Amazon, by the way, is really cool. You can read the audiobook, and then when you stop, if you're using the Amazon app, it'll start playing the audiobook from that section. And if you're reading through it, it'll, wherever you stop the audiobook is where with a page that'll be on for your Fire or whatever, your Kindle. It's pretty cool. Anyway. Yeah, it would be like, oh yeah, give me the audiobook and just find out how to make hard cider because I want to start my own fermentation. I don't know if I'm going to go through with that, but find out what's involved. Give me a list of mid-range price items and
have it on my desk by Monday morning.
Yeah.
All right.
And put together a dossier. I want a brief overview of the presidency of Gerald Ford. I'm curious. Yeah.
Just frivolous things because you're busy doing other things. So
well, they're not frivolous. They're enthusiasms and curiosities.
Yes, but you couldn't be bothered to spend the time on them yourself, so you have Geraldine doing them instead.
Gerelda.
Gerelda. She's not even important enough to learn her real name.
I guess Geraldine. Yeah, I guess that is the feminization, or Gerald is the masculinization of it. Yeah, I've never made a connection between those two names before.
But yeah,
oh man, my caffeine's not kicking in fast enough.
Chug it. Chug.
I am. I've got one of the tall cans of energy drinks. Oh shit, my coffee's done brewing. Let me press it out.
That is a good conversation topic to have, though. Like, what if you had the money to hire a manservant or a woman servant or whatever to just do the tedious everyday things that you don't want to spend time on?
We prefer the term person servant.
Oh, fuck off. What tasks, chat, would you have them do is probably really good. Interesting. I want to know.
It's wild. A lot of my tasks would not be, dry cleaning, get me coffee, what traditionally, so it would be a lot of weird, enthusiastic research topics. Find out what's involved if I want to move to Maine. What's the general expense of, real estate there? What are housing development costs and so forth? And
read these Wisconsin state bylaws so I can buy some lakefront property.
Yeah, what's involved in me transferring my firearms there, and give me the full rundown. We'll talk again at 5 p.m. Bye.
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
And can you research the best possible smokers on the market out there, please? I need to know what my buying options are.
Good. See, exactly stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
is it even worth it? And while you're at it, it just occurred to me, look into the carcinogens involved in smoking meat.
And while you're at it, here's a list of 80 things for you to do. And you know what? It's okay. This is creating jobs, Polly. This is boosting the economy. And they say that billionaires have no purpose in society, that they're just money sinks, essentially. I disagree, all right? Because
Who
without
says that?
billionaires, we wouldn't have these crucial, capable people in these jobs doing the Lord's work.
The Lord's work.
The Lord's work. Breed my Pokemon. Yes. Can you play Pogo for me?
Breed my Pokemon. I love it. Who said that?
Devil Fruit Zero in the chat. Yes. Can you walk around in circles for me? I need you to hatch all of my Pokego eggs.
Yeah, I need you to grind out this character. I need his XP like leveled up 6 or 7 times, and I don't have the 5 hours to put into it. So guess what you're after, dude?
Walking around in parks, hatching eggs. Good luck.
Yeah, I just need you to fight forest creatures in this one fucking fantasy RPG I play because I need to XP up.
Raise me up and down so I can fall asleep during sex, says Shio. Interesting. You want someone else present there while you're doing the diddly?
I've got the non-cooperate and pause button thing happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. The stream is paused, but you're clicking ahead at 3 frames a minute. It's kind of a piss off.
I'm so sorry. Here, let me make things a little bit less obnoxious for you. Hello, everybody. Thank you to Evolved Potato who donated to say, if I ever have any servants, I will call them all Jeeves, no matter if they're men or women. Well, goals, the ability to call all of your 84 servants the same exact name and have them know exactly who it is that you're talking to specifically without having to denote which one. That is life goals, honestly. Oh, and by the way, guys, Polydub's link is in the description as well. If you would like to donate to him, please do so we can upgrade him from his current potato situation to, what did we agree on? Was it the fancier potato? Was it?
Vodka.
Vodka. Yes, vodka is the fancier version of potatoes.
Well, so now we have options, right? Like my regular computer with an SSD drive instead of the regular spindle hard drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's au gratin. That's au gratin.
Yes.
Because it's spicy potato.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think I like the one that you went with. Like the computer that I'm going to get would be like a twice baked extra cheddar with sour cream.
Yes.
Extra stuffed potato.
Mm-hmm. You know want what I mean? All the fixins.
When you get up to the computers like One Ton Hammer has or Platy has, like 24 core NASA level computers, that's vodka.
It's a whole different substance, essentially.
Yes, you've taken it to the next level when you can run a space center or a national security operation out of your fucking laptop, like out of your desktop, like those guys can.
Yes.
Yes.
A good time. A good time.
So we're along the potato spectrum. Not referring to JF's girlfriends, but like quality of computer. Would you rank your own?
Which one? Because I have two. I have the PC and then I have the laptop itself.
No, the PC. The PC.
The PC is somewhere around the twice baked with all the fixins, including bacon, because it's got the bacon, and it's bringing home the bacon too. Right now,
Jesus Christ, that was. Well, that was a dad pun. Sorry, that was full dad pun.
I appreciate this. But what was it that we were talking about?
Where does your computer fall in terms of its velocity?
HP itself is probably akin to the Noshi that we were talking about last week.
Oh, the Noshi. I was like, we didn't talk about sushi. What is that? A certain kind of
Noshi. It's
gnocchi.
No, Noshi.
No, Noki.
Noshi.
CHI in Italian is never she, it's key, generally.
I never took Italian, so this doesn't matter to me.
But you've been there.
Oh, I haven't?
I thought you had been to Rome.
No, I went to Turkey when I was going and touring Greece, but I never made it to Rome. I'd love to, but I haven't. Like other people in my life have gone to Rome and they brag about it all the
Did
time.
we talk about all the trash and the burger wrappers in the Colosseum?
No, I think we talked about, like we've had discussions about.
Then who the hell was that?
No, it wasn't with me. Polly is correct. No, he's not. It's never correct. It's Gnoshi, like Yoshi, but with a G and an N. You know I do it on purpose, right? Right?
What? Forget places you visited?
No, intentionally mispronounce words just to irk you a little bit. Just
to irk me? Well, it doesn't really irk me, so.
Gotcha.
I mispronounce things all the time because I don't know what it is with like internet people that I know. They do it too. So like Zelthor is Wafram instead of Warframe, and etc. There's a million different examples, and it happens all over online. Like, why is Star Wars Stairwares? I don't know. It just is.
What?
Let's move on.
Who says that?
A fuck ton of people. The Stairwares? You've never instead of Star Wars? Really? Yeah, it's the lays of pronunciation. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Have Pauline say cinnamon, says Daniel Fullman. Oh, I've heard it.
What, Sheminison?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. You got it.
Remember, it's Sheminison the first time you say it. And then when somebody asks you to say it again, it's Selenimin.
Mm-hmm. And how many $ S's are in that?
None, but there's 3 superscript 3s.
See, so when you say it, it sounds less like a stripper's name. As opposed to the actual way that you say it.
Oh, cinnamon?
Yeah, cinnamon actually sounds like a stripper's name, whereas your alternate versions are not at all.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you were saying with my mellifluous tones, I make it sound less stripperish.
No, it has nothing to do with your tone. It just has everything to do with the way that you're saying it. Does that make sense?
Yes. Lion Patriot. Wow. I'm not. Thank you for the $5, Lion Patriot. I would have my servant find out the cost for cloning a Simulodon. Smelinodon.
Lion, what is that?
An Smilodon. I'm assuming it's a dinosaur of some kind.
Perhaps. I'm not as familiar with the dinosaurs as I am with the non-dinosaurs.
Something tells me Lion Patriot might know his dinosaurs quite well.
I don't know that dinosaur. It's a saber-toothed cat, Smilodon.
Oh, cool.
Sabre-toothed tigre.
Oh, whoa. Breaking news for me, anyway. Zombie Teddy, did you see Mayor Pete dropped out? And I think Biden tapped Harris for his VP. If that's true, that's very interesting, Zombie Teddy. Mayor Pete, let me tell you something about Mayor Pete.
Let me hear something about Mayor Pete then.
Let me in ear for a second there, Weebs, right after I read this super chat. Chicago Mike, thank you for the $5. You need to play Global Thermal Nuclear on your computer. Just remember the password is Joshua. Any bets that Weebs won't get the reference?
I don't get the reference.
Am I the one who needs the caffeination?
Maybe a little bit. I went to bed at 3 a.m. last night because I was up late in Eve's server coding, and then I started singing creepy tunes under my breath while everyone else was talking, and then they finally told me to go to bed. And so I went to bed, and then I woke up and worked a shift at the coffee shop, and then I went to the opera, and so that tuckered me out a little bit. Sorry.
It's Chicago Mike's referencing an old movie. Well, I'm going to say 1984 movie. That's, I'm guessing it's somewhere in there with the Matthew Broderick War Games. Never heard of it? No. It's an oft reference movie. Would you like to play a game?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know about that.
Yeah. That's And it turns out that he's not playing, he thinks he's playing a simulation, but it's actually a war control computer. It's actually a war room computer, and it's anything but a simulation that he's playing, etc. And that's a Chicago Mike's reference. But before I move on to Mayor Pete, it's got the word nuclear in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's numerous words that I've been told that I don't say correctly. Ketchup, milk, nuclear. Am I saying that wrong or right or whatever?
Wait, say it one more time.
Nuclear.
No, nuclear. Nuclear.
Stop it. I'm going to scream. What? Nuclear. So number one nowhere is to just type those nuclear. And that's what I've heard. So like instead, so I just want to be clear with it, because I always ask people, okay, say both those things side by side so I can hear the difference. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's what I was just doing.
It's like Irate Alex, the content creator formerly known as Irate Bear. He tells me that I say Craig wrong. The name Craig.
Craig?
Yeah.
Craig. Craig.
Yeah. Well, see, and I'm like, okay, say the way that I'm saying. He goes, and all of you say it the wrong way. What the hell?
Well, how do you say it?
What? Well, that's what I mean. I said, can you say like the way that I'm saying it and then the way that it's to be said side by side so I can hear the difference? And this is what I heard him do. Craig and Craig. I'm like, I just heard you say the same thing twice. He's like, no, they're totally different. I was like, well, whatever.
Maybe he's just being pedantic. It happens to the best of us. Hi, welcome to Cocktail Hour. Happy to have you.
Well, what's the thing that I decided that with its pronunciation? And I will not say it like that. Perhaps that's the correct way to say it, but I will not do it. Pronunciation.
You mean like you will refuse to say pronunciation as opposed to pronunciation? Fuck.
Pronunciation.
I can't say either. Apparently,
you pronounced it incorrectly. You pronounced it incorrectly. No, see, none of this makes sense.
Well, words change depending on the tense. I guess.
And I've heard Inquisitor's the one who pointed that out to me because he's all over people for their pronunciation of things. And so I was like, no, man, I don't even care. He goes, well, you accept that you're wrong? I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm just saying it the way I want. I refuse. It's like, funnily enough, I will not accept the convention. That is grammatically correct. Saying funny enough is grammatically incorrect. But funnily just sounds too damn awkward for me. I refuse to play ball.
So you're having one of those Nick Fury moments? I recognize that the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
Yes, it's and that's what we're like, oh, you're a grammar Nazi. No, fuck that. There's times I go my own way, and that's one of them. I will not say funnily enough. It's right, but I'm not doing it.
You just did.
Not in quoting. It's fine to drop hard end bombs as long as you're quoting someone else.
Well, I find that it's probably within my best interest to just pony up and use the things that maybe that don't tick people off, because every once in a while you come across somebody who is extremely anal about that kind of thing, right? And they will stop the conversation in its tracks in order to correct you about something if they think that it's wrong. So if I know I'm going to be conversating with a person like that and I don't want to have to do that, I just forego the nonsense. My time is precious to me, Polly. Time is money. Money is power. Power is pizza, and pizza is everything. Words to live by. Plus, I can't speak for shit.
That was a hell of a range of connections there. That was just, it seems like you've thought this out and memorized the line of thought.
It's a Parks and Recreation quote, and I live by it.
That's one of those shows that people talk about that I don't watch.
I liked it.
Not because I'm better than that, just because I'm like, I don't know, man.
Did you like The Office? Did you watch The Office?
That's one of them. Parks and Rec, The Office, what's it called? Continuity, Country, Continuity, something like that. 30 Rock, the smart comedy. No, man, I can't do it. I'm too pedestrian for that, I think.
Yeah, you and my dad have the same perspective. My dad's not a big fan of the jiggly cam because that's a lot of what it is.
Right. Thank you. Modern Family, like jiggly cam comedy. Like that's supposed to be in some action films to denote that someone's been punched or that the earth is like there's an earthquake going on or whatever. It's like, oh wait, it makes you feel like you're in the room. And it worked when I watched 24 because it was a drama series and it gave you a sense of being in the room when intense drama, action, moment to moment excitement was occurring. When we're watching a bunch of idiots standing around expressing their neuroticisms, the camera shaking isn't making me laugh. It's making me nauseous.
Well, it's not really shaky cam to the exaggeration that you and my father are on about, but it is mobile. There is not a static element about it unless you're doing the interviews or you're watching some of them do the like one-on-one camera interviews with the camera. But that's actually the point of contention that I take with the Bourne Legacy films is the amount of shaky cam in those films I think detracts from the action scenes because it's so much of them.
It can. You're not wrong. And yeah. Chat's being particularly funny tonight. It's Sass of the Great. Hashtag shaky cam comedy. Brad Young's jiggly cam sounds like a chatterbait name.
No, it's probably taken already.
Okay, so Chat and Weebs. I just turned on this little what do you want to call it? EQ software that I downloaded. My voice should sound like have the low end completely dropped out and I should be all high end and tinny. Is that right? No? Yes?
Are you asking if you do sound like that? Because I don't hear high and tinny.
This thing doesn't work at all.
Normal Polydub. Are you sure that you're routing it through the correct input channels?
Probably not.
I would look into that. So, Polly.
Yes.
We got distracted, but you wanted to talk about Mayor Pete, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something about Mayor Pete.
All right. I have given you my ear. Go ahead.
Mayor Pete's like AOC in this regard. They're going to be fine. You understand what I mean? Like you get the idea of like a Kamala Harris. Like if she doesn't win, what's she going to do? Well, she's going to go back and to just being a senator and doing her senatorial work. Mm-hmm. For AOC, running for Congress was a stepping block along the way. Mayor Pete was, it was something they were doing to burnish, polish, add a line to their CV. That's what they were up to. If they won, great. And even in the case of winning, great. But it's just another burnishment, if you will, to their CV. You can tell. AOC, let's say that she only lasts the one term and she doesn't, the people of the 14th Congressional District of New York catch a ray of lucid thinking and realize, hey, this person's an incessant self-promoter, not to mention a fucking communist and a media darling because she says things that they agree with. And is she actually a representative for us as her constituents? The answer is no. So let's vote somebody else in. Let's just say that happens in November, okay? She's going to go on to a spectacular career and we're going to hear of her for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. She's going to be immediately snatched up as a commentator by MSNBC or something along those lines. She will sit on multiple advisory committees of left-wing groups. She will appear to nauseatingly large paid speaking events by left-wing groups. She will be put on the payroll of George Soros. She will speak at open border things and anti-white supremacy think tank meeting group, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, for the rest of her fucking life.
Yeah, she will
be beyond fine. And in that same regard, Mayor Pete, have you seen Pete Buttigieg's CV up to this point? You fucking kidding me? Harvard, Oxford, Rhodes Scholar, Kinsey and Associates. Are you fucking joking?
He's made.
Yeah, do you know why why would somebody with this spectacularly That's not golden. That's platinum wrapped gold CV. Why would this person run for the mayor of South Bend, Indiana? To justify him running for higher office. That's why. And because the guy is such an incredible overachiever, he went right for the office of the presidency from mayor. He didn't even go Congress or Senate or governor, then attempt a presidential campaign. Like, that's the level that Mayor Pete's operating on. That guy's on some different shit, man. Oh my God, that guy's wealthy as fuck.
Yeah, the rest of us are on Adderall while he is doing the cocaine.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't know. People talk about that guy. And all they can talk about is how gay he is or that he's gay, his identity and stuff. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, the spectacular overachiever is what comes to mind when I think of Buttigieg. Like, he's like, military experience, Harvard, Oxford, Rhodes Scholar, Kinsey and Associates. Like, anyone coming out of Kinsey, like, you got to be fucking cute. You left Kinsey? Why? It's, well, to go be a mayor. And it's like, wait, what? Why? They talk about a pay cut. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, now, come on. They're all one thing to another thing to another thing. That guy's going to go on to spectacular fucking things, more of the same. We'll hear of that guy for the rest of our lives.
Now that we've established that Poly has come out of the closet as gay for Mayor Pete Buttigieg, where do we go?
That's already a hashtag, though. Gay for Pete? Gay for Mayor Pete? That's already,
yeah. I know.
If you don't vote for him, you're a whatever.
You're a homophobe, obviously. Mm-hmm. Just like if you don't vote for Bernie Sanders, you're a Nazi.
Well, everyone knows that.
Obviously. Ugh. Are you electioned out already? Or is it like just amping up for you?
Balls out for Pete. I am. You came up with the phrase that I've actually used IRL, drive-by politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saving it's not myself for like the real shebang. I'm waiting.
I am too much of a gentleman to do anything with that. So moving on.
Drive-by politics. Yeah, no, I remember when I coined that term, and I stand by it. I mean, a lot of people are just kind of, right now at this level, I don't think it matters that much because we're weeding out the opposition. We are gearing up.
Well, this is distinct. So chat knows it's not along the same lines as gunboat politics. It's not a reference to that. Drive-by politics are people on YouTube that say they're doing we talk politics or we're doing political commentary, and it's like the vast majority of what I hear you doing is social commentary. If you're talking about the gays, etc., you're talking about transgenderism, you're talking about SJWs, you're doing social commentary. It's like, well, I brought up this president or this president's campaign. It's like, and how they do and what they do on social media and what news entertainers are saying about them. Again, you're doing social commentary. If you're not talking, guys, politics is boring. It's very mundane. It's very technical. It's bureaucratic. It's policy oriented.
Obnoxiously long. Oh my gosh, the stacks of paper.
That's politics.
That's politics.
You know what I mean? And when people say using the phrases, it's like it's all politics, like meaning who's going to get ahead at a given company or whatever. They're using the phrase kind of like in its social convention sense, like just who gets along with whom. They're really more talking about tribalism than they are politics. They're talking about party politics. There's the best way to say it. Yeah.
As opposed to the element of your job that's dedicated to more public service, because that is essentially what it is that we're talking about, is public servants running for office against each other using public relations to do so. That's what we're looking at, as opposed to actually what it is that they can offer, what it is that they're talking about, what it is that we want them to do, what it is that they have done. Essentially, no one really talks a whole heckin' of a lot about like the specific policies that individual candidates have actually put forth, moved on, have signed off on, have endorsed specifically, and the implications that they've had in the long term, so much as they've talked about, like how many houses Bernie Sanders owns and why being owned on the debate stage is such like a momentous thing. And, that's drive-by politics.
That's dry. Yeah, and it's like I believe that you can make an argument as to why that. Well, that is politics because
It's
blah blah blah. And it's like I can make those arguments too. They're all lame and self-serving. It allows people to ennoble social commentary as sounding like it's about something higher. Well, I'm talking about politics. No, you're not. But yeah, fine. Let's just go along with that.
There is an element to politics that does revolve around media relations, obviously, because a lot of politics is about getting reelected more than, unfortunately, it is about what you can offer to the public or what you've promised to the public.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not even criticizing those kind of conversations. I have them all the time. We have them all the time. It totally happens. But those are barroom discussions. Quit trying to make it sound like it's
professional.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, okay, I came across as an elitist, and I'm not really. Generally, I'm concerned about that, but not in this case.
Yeah, no, it's totally fine to be into drive-by politics. I mean, it gives you something to discuss, certainly. But I do feel like it's oversaturated. It's an oversaturated market, which is why I'm saving myself.
Little bit.
I'm saving myself.
I don't want my policy holes to get worn out.
And that's really the best way that I could put it, though. Honestly, I swear.
No, that's a terrible way to put it.
No, it's the best way to put it. I love the way that I put that. Paul, you want to hear something interesting? We're gonna sidebar from the
boring
from the the dick sucking of Mayor Pete. We're gonna sidebar from that.
Hold on. I'm watching Steven Crowder's show from Thursday, the free show.
Okay.
He said this line that was so confusing. It just baffled me, and I had to go quote it on Discord. Like, what the fuck did you just say, Crowder? Okay, I'm just gonna have to think to get this right. He said Mayor Pete, and they referenced the word gay, and he said, "You know what? I don't even think Mayor Pete is gay. I think he's the only straight man in the world whose gay husband is a beard."
What? A beard?
Do you know what a beard is?
No. What does that mean?
Rosario Dawson is Spartacus's beard.
Oh, what?
I love that. Oh,
what?
What? But thank you. Number one network, Cory Booker from New Jersey. Cory Booker, Senator Booker. You know.
Yeah.
What, Wild-Eyed Spartacus?
Oh! Okay, now I get it. Okay. Sorry.
He's dating
talking about the movie Spartacus. I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything?
He is dating the very delectable Rosario Dawson, and it's like, yeah, right, you are. A beard is a woman that a gay man keeps around to make it seem like he's straight, but he's not.
Oh.
She's his beard. That's what a beard refers to.
Oh, okay. So it's like when country boys buy oversized trucks with lifted tires or whatever in an effort to hide their dick size. Gotcha.
No.
No, that's exactly
that's compensation. A beard is directly referencing trying to hide your sexuality.
I don't know. I feel like that they're compensating, but they're actually just trying to hide it.
So what you're trying to say is that everybody with a big truck is gay?
No. Everyone with a big truck has a tiny dick. They just don't know that everyone else knows.
That they're gay for men with tiny dicks?
No, there's no gayness involved.
Then what? But that's what a beard references. So what are you talking about?
I was making a connection, Polly. Don't have to make it difficult.
You need to calm down there. Your chiropractor would not agree with those neck movements you're making.
I don't know, man. Jeff Holiday says that chiropractors are untrustworthy.
And you began taking advice from Jeff Holiday when?
You're right. I'm a sidebar. Hi, everybody. Guess what time it is? Thank you to Lion Patriot who donated to the Streamlabs to say, one day I'd like to visit the old country, the UK. My ancestors hailed from there. Good luck in your endeavors, sir. I applaud you.
Did you say the UK?
The UK.
Yeah, there's some cool places.
I'd love to go there too. Yeah. Ooh, you know what?
There's some places in the UK I'd like to see for the very same reason. I hear that.
Okay, I have this travel idea that I want to do at some point in my life. It's a bucket list item, and it is pub crawling Hadrian's Wall, where you just hike along the wall for an entire, however long it takes, and that's cool, going and visiting every single pub along the wall, because apparently there are
nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, okay. All right. So, sidebar from the sidebar into the sidebar that I wanted to talk about. This has to do with YouTube. This is something that I just noticed in the last 2 days, all right? So YouTube... Huh?
What?
What?
Go ahead. Something you noticed about YouTube in the last 2 days.
So YouTube has twice now, I thought it was just a fluke, but they took almost 30 comments from my Birds of Prey review, and they had all been published on the video up until 2 days ago, when I noticed that they had all been relegated to spam. And then it registered all of them as spam, since like 5 of them in the actual comments themselves. So they were all just held automatically. And so I approved them all because they were all approved initially. And then it did it again with my Human Centipede review on the channel as well.
Shame on you, by the way, but moving on.
40 of the comments were put into spam for no reason after they'd already been published to the video. And so I had to go through and approve all of them all over again. And that's happened twice in the last 72 hours. And I'm a little bit scared. I don't know what it means.
It means that the majority of people that comment on your videos are often making 1488 JQ references, and so their comments are automatically being identified as spam.
But after they've already been published initially?
Well, the bots are slow. I don't know. I'm just guessing. That is weird.
This is 70 completely random comments that had been published on the videos beforehand that had just been put in spam for no reason, all of a sudden, all at the same time. So I don't know what's going on. You should have seen that the Human Centipede review would be cursed. Yeah.
Shame on you.
I don't know.
Your children are still going to be fighting to live that down. I don't know why you thought it was worth it, but here we are.
I got paid to do it. I made that commitment. I am nothing if not a Weebo of my word.
I got paid to do it. Weebo 2020.
I put the bounty out there.
That's also a professional lady of leisure's justification.
Is it though? I thought her justification was, I have 2 mouths to feed at home.
Who are you describing when you say that?
I don't know, single moms who strip on the side in order to support their 2 loving children whose baby daddy ran off at some point in the very, very distant past for cigarettes and never came home because who knows what reason.
You know,
and she can't cut it with one job, so she's got to have a second one that pays even more. So she strips.
There is fair enough, but there is this short list, but getting longer list of people that I've got a problem with because I'm dealing with the beyond tertiary fallout of their actions. Okay, deadbeat dads who went out for cigarettes and never came back. Okay, I'll tell a friend I'm gonna go get cigarettes. You're never gonna go back, just like my father. It's like, fuck me, man. Like, somebody's father did this, whenever the fuck, and I'm dealing with the beyond tertiary fallout from it. Okay, it pisses me off. Disco hop heads. Oh, okay, I see. You want to get all high and go dance to your BGs, and you got to take a bunch of prescription drugs and misuse them to the point where I can't get a quality sleep aid like Quaaludes. So here I am, decades later, suffering from clinically diagnosed insomnia, but I can't get drugs because I can't get pharmaceutical assistance with one of the finest sleep aids ever put on the market because of disco hopheads and Bill fucking Cosby. What a piss off.
Polly.
Yes.
Have you tried melatonin?
I can't help but think that this gets us away from the point.
I can assure you melatonin is completely safe and it's also unregulated.
and it's not popular at disco.
And it's not popular at disco. Secondarily, have you ever thought that maybe that question that you get asked about the cigarettes and whether or not you're going to come back is a sign that you should stop smoking?
No,
Okay.
I've never considered that a moment in my life.
No. Okay. Well,
I always assumed that it was hardware in, hardware out communications. Still trying to get my fancy thingamajigger to jigger.
Interesting.
Why isn't this working, Weebo?
Have you tried turning it off and on again? I'm not okay. No joke. You
need to go get a job at an IT technical assistance center in India.
That's all I would need. That is 98% of all technical issues solving. And have you tried turning it off and on again? And the reason why that is because if you're overclocking your computer, right, and you haven't turned it off, the RAM hasn't reset, and therefore you are fucking playing with fire. If that makes any sense. Your RAM resets whenever you turn it off.
It does. Sorry, Potato. I didn't have my Streamlabs up because I was trying to get this Softem Aware thing running. Thank you for the $5. You mentioned the JQ, and I think the state should execute the Joker. I don't know why. They never even tried, and Batman would even encourage because it is due process. Is it not what the JQ is? The Joker question?
Oh, that is a good question. Like, okay. If the state is executing the Joker, then no one's at fault. But that would mean that Gotham City has to live within a state wherein the death penalty is permissible. So is Gotham City not in a state where the death penalty is permissible? Is that it? Because he certainly would be, he would qualify for death row. No question.
Yeah. Well.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He hasn't gone through the due processes yet.
Okay, but due process, that wouldn't be Batman killing him. That would just be the system offing him. So it's...
Yeah, but I mean, Batman already operates outside the law, so who cares, right? Like, he knows he's a criminal. He knows what he's doing is illegal as a vigilante. So it's like, if he killed the Joker, it'd be a murder in the same way that him beating somebody up would be a vicious assault.
True, but that would go against his personal code, so...
Well, that's what I'm saying. The only thing that, excuse me, that keeps Batman doing one thing or another is his personal code, whatever it might be, murdering or not or whatever. That's exactly what makes him a vigilante and a criminal, because he's taking the law into his own hands. The law!
The law.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Do you know what movie that references?
Mm-mm.
Really? Judge Dredd.
I have not seen that. Speaking of movies.
Yes.
I saw Constantine.
Oh, yeah?
2005. Because I'm working through that list. I've also gotten to the point where I've compiled most of the film's characters and I've started the elimination rounds, and now I'm down to like 52 of the 200 that I had. I think I'd like describe this to you in DMs. But, okay, back to Constantine. Oh my God. Can someone say, Keanu Reeves, what are you doing? Please? Please. I've never seen such a piss poor performance from that man.
Oh, really? Okay, I was like, where's this going? You just thought it was really wooden.
That and his co-star, what's her face, right? There was no inflection in that voice at all.
No.
I
there wasn't.
Displeased. No, my favorite character, though, he only came in at the end. Lucifer was fucking great. I kind of want to do a review now.
Okay, so has my voice gone all wonky now?
No.
Shit. God damn it, Weebo.
What did I do?
I don't know. Someone's got to take the blame, and it's not going to be me.
Thank you, Faithless. Rachel Weisz, I think, right? Is that the character or is that the actress?
That's
So
the character or the actress rather.
yeah.
Where did Rachel Weisz was? I looked her up once because she was in a movie and I thought she was sexy. I'm trying to remember what movie it would have been.
I don't know. I mean, she looked good. It was just I did not like her. You know?
I hear you.
Is she cute? And yeah, no, I can totally see she's your type.
Can you?
Yeah. One knows these things when one has been asked to stick around for the Marvel MCU parade of women.
Oh, guys, chat. Weebo, don't listen for a minute. You should see the pseudo-scientific way she's putting together her little men of the MCU thing.
Oh, get a chance to see it.
What's that?
So this picture that she looks sexy in? Was it this one? Was it this
Hold
one?
on.
Was it this one? This one?
Oh yeah, see, she's got it going on, man.
She got that sexy brunette look, I guess.
Yeah, man. Well, not there. She doesn't look really good there.
I don't know. I thought she
was
looked
that her with Daniel Craig?
That's her with Daniel Craig. Does her? Okay, all right.
Why does she
cross here?
Yeah, they really do. She looks like full potato. Like whoa.
I like her hair though. I will say that.
Man, when you just look at all of the there's a good picture of it, but I mean, it's very picture dependent. Like some of them, she's like, no, and then all of a sudden, like, whoa, that's weird.
That's the way that a normal average woman is, Polly. I don't know if you know this, but not everyone is always picture perfect every moment of the day.
Except for you, Weebo.
No, you only ever see me when I want you to see me.
You don't know that. Still haven't put tape over your webcam lens.
that they work is if I turn them on.
Oh, I just noticed this. You've put the enchanted forest background behind us here.
Yeah, because it's almost spring, so things are about to turn green, and so I wanted it to look pretty. Ooh, actually, I want flowers now. We're gonna do flowers. What kind of flowers?
Speaking of enchanted forests, yes. I got into this debate with Zelthor last night. That he was trying to convince me that Vulcans and Spock and by extension Vulcans are just space elves.
Vulcans are just space elves?
Yes. And I disagreed with him. I said, what are you talking about? He's long-lived, tall, logical, highly intellectual, physically, the physical attributes like strength, agility, speed, etc., are all like multiple orders of magnitude above a human being. What's that got to do with a tiny little shop helper?
Look.
And well, I think I like the enchanted forest a little better. This is this is pretty pink. Yeah, it's pretty girly. All right. I expect to see that like as a print on a bathroom in a lady's.
I thought it was pretty.
Well, that face wasn't pretty. Holy shit! You know what I thought you were going to do is open Photoshop and put some little flowers in and around the enchanted forest here.
Okay. Do it. I will send you all of my background stuff so you can fool around with them. If you would like to make background images for our lovely cocktail hour, you may. Ooh, I just had another idea. All right, continue on with your ramblings about how Vulcans aren't like elves.
No, that was pretty much the whole thing. They're not space elves. And he justified this by arguing that, no. I'm going off of the high fantasy elf, like Tolkien elf. He goes, what you just described, like long-lived, pointy-eared, that's a high fantasy elf. Because you're thinking of Santa, and that's wrong. And so to justify this, he brings up a picture of Agent Smith. And he goes, see? And I'm like, why'd you bring up a picture of Agent Smith? And he goes, oh my God, that is Agent Smith. And it was only at that moment he realized that was the same actor who played Lego Man. What's his name?
No, not Lego Man. Wait. Mr. Smith isn't like from the Matrix?
Yeah, Agent Smith from the Matrix. Yeah,
No, that's not the same guy.
yeah,
No,
same
are you
guy.
talking about who I think you're talking about? L. Ron was not Mr. Smith.
Yeah, Ron Hubbard. Yeah, that's Agent Smith. It's not.
No, it's not.
Okay. In my own defense, I've seen the Lords of the Rings movies once, and I was made to by a girlfriend.
Oh, Elron. Okay, yeah, no, I thought you were talking about the blonde guy. I'm like, hang on. Elron
Yeah, L.
is
Ron Hubbard.
that is the same guy. Okay. No, I thought you were talking about not Legolas, but the other blonde guy who dies in the middle of the battle.
Oh yeah, right. Lego Man is the guy who does the unbelievable things with the bow and arrow.
That's Legolas. My God.
Well, to me, they're Agent Smith and Lego Man. They're L. Ron Hubbard and Lego Man.
Yes, Elrond was indeed Agent Smith in the Matrix, said Angela. But who was the other blonde guy?
Daniel
God.
Craig.
No. Who was the other blonde elf in Lord of the Rings?
I can't believe that's the actual search term you put in the other blonde guy. I love
it. I'm talking about this guy. All right. Do you see that guy?
Hold on. No, I don't. I've got so many things up on my screens.
Polly! This one.
Oh, that isn't Lego Man? Hold on, I need a larger screen.
No, there's another blonde guy. This is Legolas. I'm talking about this man right here.
Oh, I don't recognize that guy at all. You could have convinced me that was a cosplayer.
No. He died in the battle for Helm's Deep. This guy. He was.
There's a town called Helm's Deep in the Lords of the Rings.
No, it's not a town. It's like a fortress. That's where they go to. That's okay. All right. You know what we're doing? I know exactly.
No, we're not. We're not.
This calls for a Lord of the Rings marathon.
Well, hold on really quick. Ryan Walters, thank you very much for the $10. Would Sir Dubenstein and Eris Jones mind singing me happy birthday? It would be greatly appreciated. Oh, it's your birthday, Ryan Walters? Yeah, we could do that, I think.
Thank you. Someone said Halder. Halder, that's his name. And I know him from the Sword of Truth series. Yes, Halder of Lorraine. He was in the forest with Galadriel. Sorry, I'm such a nerd. This is really triggering me, Polly. Lego Man, fuck you.
All good. It's okay.
Yes, he does have dark hair in real life, actually. Halder of Lorraine. Lorraine? Like, whatever. Played by Craig Parker. Craig Parker was in he in Spartacus? Wow. He was also in Rain.
Does my voice sound any different?
Keep talking.
Does it sound like all high end at all?
No.
Yes. Damn it.
Nope. He was in the Sword of Truth series, or if you ever okay, you know Jack has talked about this series.
Do I sound any different now?
Huh?
What?
No, you don't sound any different.
Damn it. God. Okay, you know what? I'm not today. It's not going to work.
Okay. All right. Legend of the Secret is based off of the Sword of Truth series, which Jack has read the books for, and he likes them. I don't know if he's actually seen Legend of the Secret, but there were only like 2 or 3 seasons, and it was actually a really good fantasy series. Not gonna lie, totally endorse it. I don't know what happened to it, but that's the same actor, and he plays the coolest evil dude ever. The most dynamic evil person.
The most dynamic evil person.
Low key, I kind of want to make this be the next thing that I make you watch. Like if I don't get you to watch Lord of the Rings, this is what you're watching.
Okay, well let's talk about it's interesting social psychology barroom talk for the Lord of the Rings. Remind me of this, but Ryan Walters, it's his birthday.
Huh?
What?
What?
Hey? Did you not hear me read out that Streamlabs?
No, I didn't.
It's Ryan Walters is a dedicated fan of yours and mine. He's an ongoing audience member, like many of the lovely people in chat right now. And he requested that we might sing him happy birthday. And he called me Sir Dubenstein and you Eris Jones. So, I mean, hey, he asked nicely.
Sorry, I have such a short attention span.
No,
it's my undiagnosed ADHD. Papa Jones never believed in doctors. Why he goes to a chiropractor still. No, okay, all right, we'll sing happy birthday. Who is it for again? It's Ryan Walters?
Mr. Ryan Walters.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm the shoebop man, so you sing and I shoebop.
All by myself?
But everybody wants to hear your lovely pipes, not mine.
But, wait, do you want it to be pretty?
Okay, first of all, straight up, I can't sing unless I sing in a really low register. So, okay. Which is going to sound awful with you singing like in these high angelic tones and me going all down low.
Sing in high angelic tones. Maybe I'll go full alto and then it'll sound really nice and robust and deep. Huh?
I don't know the music things you speak of.
You just assume my vocal part.
Well, I'll tell you sing those, and I will riff as well as shoebop, because it's a strong tradition in Motown, which is where I'm getting the shoebops from. Is that so you'd be like happy birthday, but happy birthday, like in the background, it adds a harmonization and other riffing things.
All right, I will do this thing.
Polly does not hit the brown note, Zombie Teddy.
Are you ready, Polly?
Yes, I am.
All right. Happy birthday to you.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday, dear Ryan Walters.
Shabab, shabab.
Happy birthday to you.
Shabab, shabab.
I like the dynamic of me being all pretty sounding and you being you.
What? It added layers of complexity.
Yes, certainly it did.
Happy birthday, Ryan Walters. Hope you have a good one. And do something for you, man.
Yeah, treat yourself.
People say, oh, I'm just gonna like hang out and talk with people. I think like even if you don't end up going out because like I don't know, it's a Sunday night and your friends aren't down to go out, whatever. Order in your favorite takeout food or whatever. Something. I think that's the minimum someone should do for themselves. Don't you agree?
Never thought I'd miss monkeys singing. I don't know. I thought that was something special. Thanks. But you're right. Treat yourself on your birthday. You know what I did for my 21st birthday, Polly?
Drank.
So it was a Monday, I think. And the first thing I did when I woke up, I didn't have class until noon. I went to the nearest Kroger and I purchased an entire cake for myself, as well as a bottle of Fireball and a bottle of bubbly white wine at maybe 10, 11 in the morning. Totally worth it. But they strange looks. Because what else are you going to do on your 21st birthday?
One year I had a birthday on a Tuesday and nobody wanted to go, but everyone was like the next night. And so I'm on the day of my actual birthday, nothing doing, right? And I was like, okay. So I went and I got takeout dim sum. That was my treat for myself. And takeout dim sum's expensive, yo.
Yeah.
But it was okay. That was my treat. And I also knew because like I was going out with a bunch of friends like the next night, so I could afford to splurge because, well, they would be buying the drinks tomorrow. You know.
Was that the whole story, or are you just taking a sip?
No, that was the whole story.
Oh, all right, cool. It sounded like you were about to continue on, and then I realized that maybe that's not the case. Yes, Lion, that was the Dick Candles cake.
The Dick Handles cake.
No, the Dick Candles cake. So I didn't have enough candles to put on top of my cake because I did a live stream. for my birthday.
Right.
I got in trouble for this, actually.
I remember. I was there.
I put the dick.
I mean, not on this. I didn't get my invitation, but I was there. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, no, I sang myself happy birthday with the cake and everything, and we didn't have enough candles, so I put the dick candles on the cake. It was a nice time. Memories were made. I stuck my whole face in the cake. Speaking of which, my birthday is coming up soon. Technically, on Twitter, it says that my birthday was yesterday, February 29th, but that's not my real birthday. We're about a month away. Don't worry about it. You haven't forgotten, guys. It's okay. But what does one do for one's 22nd birthday, Polly? You're old. You know these things.
I'm looking at women. What?
You're old. You know what people do for their later year birthdays that don't do very much.
Their later year birthdays. Well, in my old age, I tend to get together with the other folks in the home, and we play pinochle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not shuffleboard.
No, many of us can't stand anymore. We're quite aged.
Mm-hmm. And so, what kind of cake is it that you guys purchase for these birthday parties?
Something you can eat without your dentures in. So soft, nothing with nuts in
like
it.
Pudding cakes?
Yeah, pudding.
Rice pudding cake?
What do you do for your 22nd birthday? Well, you know what? Now that you've gotten the 21st birthday, so the, artificially imposed tradition of going and getting sloshed on your 21st birthday, because now you can. I mean, that's not really a good thing to do on your 21st. That's just what you're doing because, U.S. law, right?
Yeah. It's just because.
Yeah. You can actually go do whatever the fuck you want, which is probably what you should have done on your 21st birthday. So,
Conspiracy Occult Illuminati Noah Media Review says 22nd birthday is all about cocaine binging. Is that what you mean by anything you want?
Jeez. I'm gonna say no.
No? You advise against this action.
I've got a question for you, Weebs. Do you have a short list of drugs that everybody should try once in their life if they are so inclined?
Actually, no. I staunchly am against the use of mind-altering drugs in any capacity.
Really?
Yeah. It took me forever to actually get on board with drinking as a thing. So I don't really see myself as even probably trying weed at any point in time in the near future. No, what I'd probably end up doing instead is like weird other things that would cause mental reactions, I guess. So like the sensory deprivation chamber. That's something that I'd like to try to see if that actually works, because I am curious, but it'd probably be only the one time, because I've heard that it can cause you to hallucinate without even the use of any assistance. It's just they put you in a chamber and shit happens. But I've never been one to be super curious about what happens on drugs in any capacity. So as of right now, I've not done anything.
Fair enough.
Anything. It's just a personal thing. So, I mean, do you, but that's not for me. You just try to survive the coronavirus at 22. That's actually a talking point that came up at dinner tonight with my family, because I have a few relatives that are abroad studying right now. Interestingly enough. And they're worried because some of the students have actually been completely just sent back over. Their entire study abroad programs just completely canceled. So that is a real concern for at least one person in my immediate family, if not more. Sorry, we're just like all over the place in terms of topics. Electroshock therapy can be fun. That might be an interesting thing to try. Hey, Polly.
What?
Electroshock therapy.
No.
No?
Are you?
Disagree?
Are
Disagree. How about a lobotomy? Have you tried one of those?
I have not tried a lobotomy, although what the fuck, guys?
What's the experience of getting your prefrontal cortex completely kebabbed?
Yeah, nothing like a little, especially the ice pick lobotomy kind, where you can, like in through the corner of the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As one does. Voluntary waterboarding. Wow. Okay, you guys are comparing my desire to be put in a sensory deprivation chamber with literal, actual procedures that we don't. Well, in some cases we do them, but they're frowned upon for the most part. They are used as a last resort.
I mean, so Pete has weed, LSD, mushrooms, cocaine, and DMT. I'm assuming this is his short list of drugs that are cool to try if you're so inclined. I don't know. I would certainly. I mean, they seem like probably like everyday drugs because they're just so common. But nicotine and caffeine are definitely on that list.
Yeah.
Nicotine, caffeine, and alcohol. If you're so inclined, yeah, give them a shot. Won't hurt you.
Nicotine, though?
Nicotine alone, will it hurt you to try it once? No, it won't hurt you at all. It's not a bad idea.
No. But what does it do other than just like... Actually, what does it do, Polly? I don't know these
It's a stimulant. Nicotine's a stimulant.
So like... okay, so it stimulates, but like in what way?
It's a little tough to describe. It's not a powerful feeling. It's a little lightheadedness. You just feel content, better, slightly stimulated. If you're on edge, it's also a relaxer. That's one of the reasons nicotine is so addictive, is because it's not powerful. If you're trying to get to sleep and you can't sleep, a cigarette will relax you. If you're trying to wake up and you're tired, a cigarette will wake you up.
It's middle of the road type nonsense.
Yeah, man. It's
kind of like coffee in that sense.
Coffee helps you get to sleep?
No. I mean, like, it's the coffee does what it does, but it does it well.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like caffeine and nicotine, neither of them are particularly powerful. It's Evolved Potato says some strong painkillers. I don't know if he's referencing something like. It's like when if you've ever watched people doing cocaine in movies, or in fiction generally, it's like, have you people ever even done cocaine or watched people do some blow? This is not what it looks like or what happens. What the fuck? Like, I love seeing people tune the fuck up on blow and horny, because that's what happens.
Well, there have been studies that show that there is some sort of correlation between cocaine usage and sexual stimulation. We just read
on some light levels, yeah, but like, I mean, you're on a 3-day bender. I mean, does the phrase "whiskey dick" ring a bell?
Well, that's whiskey.
I know, but I'm trying to make a point here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Ever got a rush from an inhaler, Weebo? I don't have breathing problems, so I've never had to use an inhaler. That's what they're for, right? Question mark?
What? An inhaler?
For breathing.
It helps your reading?
Breathing.
Oh, okay. You're talking about that kind of inhaler, and I guess I should have clued into that. You know what I was thinking of, and I don't know why? The mentholated inhalers to help you breathe when you're congested.
Do they have?
Well, you never heard of those?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's a little thing you buy at the drugstore. It's a little, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm congested today. Little tube, it kind of looks like, right? And it's got, either eucalyptus oil or mentholated oil or whatever. And I'm not trying to be graphic, but you kind of stick it up your nose a little bit and go like that. And when your nose is plugged, it absolutely will help clear your sinuses. Yeah.
Fuck. Had I known that was a thing, I would have made use of that.
Yeah, they're cheap and readily available. And the next time you're stuffed up, you should think about stopping by a pharmacy. They actually do work.
I will do that. Sidebar. Hi, guys. How are we? Thank you. The next 6 minutes he donated to the Streamlabs to say, "Awesome Paris photos, Weebs. Great stream. Hey, everyone, go get you some awesome Weebo merch to help this girl buy some pasta and Stella. Pasta is awesome. Weebs is awesome. Cocktail hour is awesome. Polly is awesome. Yay! I approve this message, and also I agree. If you would like to donate to us, there are links in the description that you can check out if you feel so inclined as to do so." This show is brought to you by you guys.
You know who is a sexy woman, highly dependent on photograph and angle, like we were talking about before? Gemma Arterton. Gemma Arterton.
Gemma with a J?
The movies, okay, I mean, she was a Bond girl. She played Strawberry Fields. Well, she wasn't a Bond girl. She was an MI6 officer.
Cute.
She looks much better as a redhead, and I'm really curious. Like, she's often, well, I don't know what you're the hair color specialist. Like, dark red with a lot of brown in it. What would you call that? Like
an auburn?
An auburn, yeah. And then when she played Strawberry Fields in Quantum of Solace, I believe. She had like strong red hair and red eyebrows and everything, and she looked hot as hell. And she had that thing. She also played Io in the remake of Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
If that rings a bell for you now.
Not quite. But that is a woman with some versatile hair. Like, oh my gosh, it looks good in a lot of these styles.
It's strange how different she looks from picture to picture.
You're right. Wow.
Like it's just very, very dependent on what photograph you're looking at.
She's just like a Johnny Depp, but IRL.
Actually, Pete says the one with Sam Worthington. That's exactly the one. Yeah, I got to admit, I'm such a fan of the 1981 Clash of the Titans. That style of film, whether it be Sinbad, Clash of Titans, Jason and the Argonauts. They're such great films that it's kind of like a transgression that they even bothered to remake it. But I got to admit, man, the Clash of Titans and Wrath of the Titans films are just good popcorn fun. They are fun films. There's no getting around it.
You know, I wish I had her as a doll as a child, because she could be literally anything.
I could have had her as a doll as a child. Thank you. Next 6 minutes. Polly is closer to his new potato, but keep giving him your support. Yeah, he needs new potato for new awesome content, collabs and such. Also, Polly needs new sweet peripherals for his new potato too. Potato. Well, you know what? No joke. It's the potato is coming because I've identified the core and that I'm going with, the CPU that I'm going with, which is good because that's the core of the computer. Quite literally. And now I'm building up the computer around it, and like PC parts finder, I've filled in a lot of the things. It's coming along, man. Absolutely. It's not just something I'm saying. It's I'm getting excited. What's his name? Zelthor is building one too. He's going a little bit more nuts than I am. I'm going with an 8-core AMD, Weebs.
If I may, from my own personal computer building experience, do not cheap out on the motherboard.
You know what? It's interesting you say that, because I'm deciding on the like in order of things, right? Like video card, away and done, decided on CPU. You understand what I'm saying? Motherboard is one of the things that's like, I don't have the knowledge to, like a week ago, I didn't know what an AMD Ryzen 7 8-core was.
Yeah.
Okay, so and now I know, and it's like, man, guys, I'm diving in the deep end of the pool. Have mercy on the noob. I've never been a computer guy. You want to ask me about your AR to pick or which handgun you should buy? Hey, let me know. I'll help as best I can. Computers, wow, man,
it's a whole different world.
Yeah, and so like I'm trying to get enough information such that I can make some kind of rational decision. And the motherboard, it's interesting you mentioned that, because that's the next thing on the list, where all I know is that it needs M2 plug-in sockets, because I've decided to go with an M2 memory for my operating system and such. And so it's like, okay, so I know it needs that, and I know it needs the plug-in whatever socket type for the card or the CPU that I've selected. But what happened? What was your problem with your motherboard? I actually am very curious about this.
So I cheaped out on my motherboard thinking that it wasn't super important if I, that there was no difference between just a regular one and a micro ATX. And I got the micro ATX, and Caleb will not shut the fuck up about it. The part of the issue is, I think, it's not, that motherboard is not suitable enough to do all the things that I want it to. For instance, if I wanted to run games on this, it probably wouldn't be able to handle it as well as something with a little bit more oomph.
Sorry, you just kind of cut out there. If you wanted to run what? It wouldn't be suitable?
So,
games. Okay.
For instance, I have tried to play 7 Days to Die with the kids over there, and the kids, Caleb and his friends and whatnot, and his girlfriend. And it worked for maybe half an hour, and then it shut down my entire computer. And we're thinking that it's either, no, we are thinking it's definitely the motherboard itself, or it had to do with unupdated drivers. So that's another thing that you have to take into account when you build your computer is update the drivers. Don't skimp out on your motherboard. Definitely not. Richard Art asks, how much do you need to build a PC? So I spent probably over $1,000 building this computer, just initially. And then I had, I think, Jolander sent me my graphics card, which was a big help. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that a lot. And
woohoo!
Everything else was brand new, sans the power supply unit, which I got secondhand from Balik. The other thing is I'm using my television that I got, the TV, instead of like actual monitors for a monitor. Reason why is because it's bigger, it's more useful for my video editing and for video gaming, and also it's cheaper because I already had the television as opposed to having to buy dual screen monitors, which I was going to go for otherwise, but decided against. Say what? Yeah, no, it's pricey depending on what you want to do. I can actually show you my parts list if you want, and how I went about making decisions. Polly?
I'm waiting. I want to see the parts list.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. And I called the parts list baby's first CPU. All right. Here we go.
How does somebody go from like a B cup to a D cup? This woman's weird. Anyway, all right.
It happens quite frequently. Okay, so I went for the Intel Core i7. That was the most pricey thing that I got. And then I also wanted liquid cooling system for my computer.
Why?
Because I knew that I was going to be producing a lot of heat with all that I was demanding of my computer, and I wanted it to be as... That was always my main issue when it was that I was editing on my laptop, so I wanted there to be an adequate cooling system in the computer. And so now we have that, and it's less of an issue. The motherboard, I skimped out on, as I said, mainly because at that point where I was pricing everything out, it seemed like the better option, and like it didn't matter as much. But as I said, it's actually become an issue. RAM, I knew I was going to need 16 gigabytes. The fun thing is, the motherboard has fucked me over in that only one of the RAM slots works. And so I'm only running this off of 8 gigabytes currently. And that is rather unfortunate. Rather unfortunate indeed.
So you really do have motherboard specific problems, huh?
Yeah. So that's the thing that I'm going to probably be upgrading very shortly in the next at least year and a half, if not year. I barely have $1,900 or $190, says Richard Art. How on earth am I supposed to get $1,000? See, I saved up. I saved up my money a lot in order to be able to buy this. And a lot of it was due to the viewership definitely helping me out, but a lot of it was also I worked a lot, and I don't do a lot of fun things that are super expensive, and I don't buy a lot of new things that are super expensive. I buy a lot of things secondhand. I make my own food. I don't, I don't spend a lot of money, so I have the ability to save up for things that I really want, like my PC, but also my laptop. So that gives me the opportunity to buy really nice things and in the future not skimp out on shit. And then I went for storage. That's another thing that you have to think about is how much are you going to be using in terms of storage. So I thought 1 terabyte solid state drive, definitely go SSD as opposed to hard drive. Best bet for me at the very least, because that's less moving parts. There's less of a chance of corrupted data. I think if the poles of the earth shift at some point, you're not going to lose all your shit.
I can't believe you went there.
But the other thing is too,
you definitely want to go SSD, but Hammer is the guy who pushed this for me on M2 cards with NDME direct motherboard plug-in.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe not for all of your memory, but for what your operating system is operating off of, you're not limited to the SATA speed. Oh man, that's absolutely the way to go. And the price difference is negligible, such that why would you go otherwise? He's convinced me.
Yeah, this thing actually plugs directly into the motherboard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There's your M2.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is really nice. Carrying on. I think it was this one. Was it Sapphire Radon? Did I update this? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I provided this. I'm pretty sure. Gotta double check. Oh, wait, no, I can't click on that. I think this is my video card. If not, then I haven't updated it. Actually, you know what? Hang on, I can check. Let me go back. Because every time I get new parts, at the very least, I always update them. Or I try to remember to update them. Sometimes it doesn't save for me. Joe Lander, where are you at, Home Slice? But in addition to that, this was the tower that I got, which is really nice. It's got a see-through side, mainly because I wanted to be able to see the pretty colors from my Corsair, from my liquid cooling system, because it lights up too. Because I'm a aesthetics nerd about that.
God, you and Zelthor, man. I need the RGB stuff that glows with a smoked glass side to my computer so I can look at it.
Nice.
You guys are funny.
I like it, and plus it's black, so it looks nice. And I can actually see the shit inside of my thing and be proud of it and be like, ha, see, I made that with my own 2 hands. And then the last thing that I got, also power supply. This was a gift from Balik.
Nice.
This is really nice. Yeah.
I just did the learn-imitating on the power supply, because that was another question. It's like, how much? So you got your graphics card, your video card, and that's decided on, and then the CPU, and then I'm talking to Platy, and I'm like, what kind of power? So it's like, go over the top, and like, how much do you actually need, and et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, I got that decided on. It's working on it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, the one thing that other people care about that I couldn't, and no offense to anyone else, I couldn't give a fuck less about the case. It is literally just a conveyance for all the parts to hold them all together. I'm not even going to see it. It's going to be put away. It's not going to be on the desk. With the AMD card that I selected comes with an RGB neon, whatever the fuck, around the fan. And Zelthor's like, oh, cool. It comes with that. I'm like, I'm not even going to see it, man. It's going to be in the dark. I'm not getting a glass side. I'm buying a $40 case. I don't give a damn.
Well, I like the aesthetics because I live in this room. This is
I get it. I get it. But
all that jazz.
I'm going compact and utilitarian and Spartan.
Yeah, well, I like the pretty colors. Actually, I have the rainbow set on the pretty colors in the tower itself, but my keyboard, my backlight for the desk, and my mouse are all set to like a really nice blue, which matches the background desktop image on my on my computer, which is here. I can show you actually. This is what my background image is. It's really nice. That thing.
That is nice.
Mm-hmm. Snip sharing.
Have you ever seen my background image?
No. Would you like to show it to me?
Would you like to see it?
Sure.
All right. And while I'm at it, I can show you something else that we're talking about frivolous purchases. I ended up like looking into some frivolous purchases that are just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Share. There's my background image.
All right, hang on. I gotta like zoom in a little bit because I've been. Is that a submarine?
That is an LCARS system display for the USS Defiant.
Oh. What's the USS Defiant? I don't know ships.
It's a ship in Starfleet.
Okay.
I don't
know Star Trek.
It's the ship from Deep Space Nine. That's the easiest way to say it.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my favorite ships in all of Star Trek, and it just looks cool. Normally I don't nerd the fuck out when it comes to stuff like that, but the Defiant is just so very seriously cool. And you know what really bugs me is that that's something else that I forgot to mention. I will finally be able to have animated backgrounds because I'll have a fucking non-potato.
Ooh.
So like, I mean, this like I want to build it because all these things should be blinking and moving and levels and stuff and things.
Fuck, it's raining out there. Like it's coming down.
So I'll finally be able to have animated wallpapers. I'm so looking forward to this. I'll be able to build this one. Like I said, this thing should be blinking and displaying things and readouts and all sorts of stuff.
Ooh.
And like they're available online already. Like, because there's lots of Star Trek nerds out there.
Of course.
With like LCARS builders, which is the library system, this kind of look, acutagrams, if the way that it looks like Starfleet's computer system that it generally uses. It's OS, if you will. Where you can build different things and customize and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, this should be I should be able to do that by now, but I can't because I have a potato. And once I upgrade it, it's totally going to be a thing. So let's talk about other frivolous purchases, shall we?
Sure. Give me 1 second before we do that.
Sure.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you to Connor Johnson, who donated to the Super Chats to say this. Hey, Weebo, how was your time in Paris? Well, I'll let you know. It was good. We had a great time. I had a great time. And I actually have an entire 2.5-hour stream on the channel, like 2 videos before this one, available about my travels that just documents everything about it. It was a good time. I actually had more fun regaling my adventures to the audience than I did in Paris, which is weird. You know, I like hyping it up for other people and talking about my experiences more than the actual experiences themselves. Does that make me weird? Or nah?
I don't know if it's like Assassin of the Great right away. USS Defiant, I recognize it. And it's like, oh yeah, man, it's a great look. And Monkey hates on it, and I don't know what his problem is. And then Pincalo just responds with, ha, 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 ha. I don't know if he's laughing at somebody else or me, but then anyway, and then Daniel Fulman says, did you ever get a church warden's pipe? Well, a church warden's pipe. No, I didn't. And I got to get around to that. It should be that should be something that I treat myself to because yeah. And then Lion Patriot says he thinks the Defiant is his favorite too. Yeah, well, we won't go full nerd. And you know what? I've got a project in mind that I talked about putting together, and I really want to do it with Blind Press.
Oh.
You see, Weebs?
What?
For you see, when you are a nerd on the next level of nerdery, you take your nerddom to all sorts of nerdy, fantastic places. Now, if you were to go onto the YouTubes and look, you would find the engine idling noises of many a starship.
Yes.
Yes, she says a little scared because it's like getting rather detailed. No,
yes.
You absolutely can. They're like, so because so I don't know if you've ever watched an episode of Star Trek. If you listen in the background when they're on a ship, especially when they're in engineering, you'll hear a vroom, 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 noise, and it's part of the, what do they call it?
Ambiance.
Like the sound production that they do.
Yeah.
And the Intrepid class ship does not sound like the Galaxy class ship, does not sound like the Defiant class ships. They make a different engine noise, and it's multi-layered. There's a little vibrational noise, and then there's the actual pulsing of the warp core, and then there's different things like that. And you can find these, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to do this project with Blind Press because she's, blind. I don't know if you knew that.
What?
No. No, but she's as I call her the Oracle. It's one of my little affectionate nicknames for her, because like she's got the Trek up in the mind, like memorized. She's like a IRL walking memory alpha. It's fantastic. Uh-huh. And I want to put together a sound construction of this. Would be the best. A lot of people, that when you go look at those different engine idling noises, people will say like it'll be like 8 hours of the Defiant class engine idling noise, and people will fall asleep to this. I was watching it. I see that judgy smirk on your face. Wipe that off.
No, I'm not judging, I promise. I fall asleep listening to Renaissance music, so I have kind of an understanding of this.
Well, I was watching an episode of Voyager, and there's one guy who has a holoddiction. He's addicted to the holodecks, and he spends all of his time in there because it's a fantasy realm. It's actually a very interesting idea. I would imagine that like half plus of all people would have some form of holoddiction if there were such a thing as holodecks. Yeah. In any case, this is Reginald Barclay, and he could always sleep more comfortably in his holographic quarters on the fake USS Voyager that he's created rather than in his real house. That was one of the points in this fictional show. I thought, why hasn't anybody ever done that? That gave me the idea, is that the background ambiance should be for quarters, sleeping in someone's quarters, because the only way you would hear an engine idling noise is if you were sleeping next to the warp core.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure,
so
I
want to do a sound design ambiance 8-hour thing and get together with Blind Press, because she knows sounds, man, because that's a large part of her world in a way that it's much more detailed than it would be for myself. Yeah. And she listens to Trek in a way that I don't. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what would be the little noises that you would hear? You'd hear the little the little door chime ringing thing, but muffled off in the distance, because people down the hallway would be ringing your door, or other people's quarter doorbells and stuff like that. And I want to sound construct the sleeping in Defiant quarters ambiance noises. I think that'll be fun. There, I went full nerd.
That is pretty nerdy. I'm not gonna lie, but we all have our little picadillos, I guess. Is it picadillos? No. We have our things.
Well, there is a channel called the Guild of Ambiance. And if you're even remotely into fantasy stuff, I recommend, that's the name of the YouTube channel. I recommend checking it out. They put together all these sounds. Like one of them is Weebs, one you would love? I'm a huge fan. It's Sounds of Ancient Library.
Ooh.
So it's crackling flames from a large fireplace in a distance. You hear chairs moving out every now and then. It's very echoey.
Stop it, Polly. You're giving me chills.
it's
I'm not kidding. I have like going on my neck.
I have used it when I'm writing, when I'm doing like when you're working off of PDFs to put together your text for papers and stuff. That's the Ancient Library Guild of Ambiance. You should. They all of their videos are great. They're like 2 hours long plus, and they've got a great background image for each one that they will create, like of a picture of an ancient library, and it's animated. The fireplace is firing, and then there's I forget what one is called. It's like classic drawing room with storm outside. So it's a fire and rain outside. It's very, very comforting and cozy. One of them is Enchanted Forest. So you will, great setting, ambiance stuff, especially fantasy oriented. Really cool shit. I dig somebody who takes their kind of audio stuff to that level. That's, I guess, the original design for ancient Fantasy Tavern is also very cool. It's they have one that's like the Busy Tavern Time, and one that's like 5 o'clock in the morning when no one's there. So you kind of hear like tankards of ale being cracked against each other and kind of low murmured conversations and the fires going. And
that is affiliated with another channel, do you think?
I'm sorry?
Are they affiliated with like another channel? Because I have I'm subscribed to Ambient World. Oh,
I could see it like that they're yeah.
Because like Ambient World has to do with, or Ambient World, I'm sorry, but they take film scores and they put it to an image, which is kind of like animated as well. But they put noises in there that you would expect to hear. So like the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, Winter Storm's music, and like anything that you would hear outside there. Warcraft, Disney World, The Green Dragon, Narnia, The Last Samurai. They take film scores and they put them to the sound, and they just kind of have a nice background image. And I like listening to them a lot. It's actually become a problem. They have so many videos. It's my personal way of like diving into that world of ASMR.
Okay, so all right. TOS says, don't forget Worf slept aboard the Defiant. Yeah, he did. He felt more comfortable on sleeping on a ship than he did on D Space Nine. Besides, Cardassian architecture. Ew. Am I right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Hey, David wanted me to remind you, since you're talking about.
I read it and I don't know what you're talking about. So moving on.
Talking about collabs. How's
I read it. I don't know what you're talking about.
How's our collab coming, Polly?
You know what? I'm going to screen share some shit with you after this to show you what a great. It's so.
Polly, it is now March 1st.
Did you have to look at your watch? Did you really have to look at your watch?
Well, yes, because it's a leap year.
It is, isn't it?
I did that more to emphasize the point that it is March 1st, Polly. This was intended to be out Christmas. Speaking of my watch, I should probably plug this in.
Plug in my watch.
Well, yes, because it's a Fitbit. Now you get to see naked Weebo wrist basket.
Woo! Naked wrist action.
Yeah, you never see this shit. Naked wrist action.
Vol Potato, thank you for the Streamlabs for the $1. When you get your new PC, think about VR. You would love Star Trek Bridge Crew, for example. It's a full VR control of this ship on the bridge, and it's made by Trek fans, so it's very detailed. You should look it up at the least. I have seen some sample images, if you know what I mean, of people walking through, but no, Vol Potato, I haven't. Yeah, I should look at it in a more detailed way. I'd like to see all the panels and stuff. I've only seen clips. Yeah, I should look into it more. It would be cool. Yes. Who else? Okay, going down. Daniel Fullman, do you have a noir band? You know what? That one of the things in terms of sound design that I can only get away with so much on my potato that I'm absolutely going to do at Noir Bar is you need the nighttime sounds. You know, quiet murmuring conversation. When I had the Christmas decorations up Weebo, we had I had a fireplace installed, and there were fireplace sounds.
Oh,
there was crackling and popping.
Polly, this level of dedication to ambiance is getting out of hand. I'm just kidding.
It's getting out of hand.
So, like, okay, I have a question. If you were to like reset the scene for anything, like into a brothel, would you go out of your way to make sure that there were like fappening and moaning noises as well? That would be out of hand.
Well, yeah, that would be a little out of hand. And I mean, you're just, ew. I'm going to turn that into a GIF.
Do it. But no, it would be funny.
No, I
would expect that from you.
For me, it's fun. It's that's why I'm doing it. The detail of the look of the bar. I'm for those of you who don't know, I'm actually designing the VIP room in the back. You notice that there's a door off to the left of the bar that leads into the VIP room. In case you didn't know, so it's going to be not the fappening room, weebs.
I can't wait to see it, Polly. I appreciate this.
No, the idea was that when there's no one else to stream with me, when I'm bartendering solo, that it's going to be the smaller room in the back that I'm going to use as the background. I'll invite people back to hang out in the smaller back room.
Polly's special room.
I'm going to sound clip that. That's the way the stream's going to open. It's just Polly's special room.
Oh my god. Fabius Maximus.
Fabius Maximus. Oh, we were talking about frivolous purchases.
We were.
Okay, so I was watching Sin City 2 a little while back.
There was a second one?
That's right. Thus the 2.
I'm shook. Continue.
And you know the look of Sin City, the films, right? They're based on graphic novel, black and white, you know. Extreme high contrast. Now, one of the characters in there, the gambler, is whenever they're sitting down there playing cards, they have a classic set of bicycle cards, but they're black and white cards. And I'm like, man, those are cool props. When I was watching that scene, I thought, wait a fucking minute. Maybe they just bought those off to Amazon, you know. And they did. Look, hold on. Share screen. Booyah.
Polly, do you ever think about being like a set designer or like a home decorator?
A home decorator. Look,
designer.
Bicycle sells reverse cards. Look how fucking slick these things are. This is exactly what they look like in the film, and that's just what they did. They just bought a reverse deck from Bicycle. I mean, how slick do they look, huh?
You know, I'm making a card game.
Like with a 52 card deck, or
no. I'm making like the game Castle. I am coding it into an application, and currently, the card set that I have is here. Let me send it to you.
Okay, but hold on. There's more. But wait, there's more.
Oh,
so I mean, here's the aces. I just love the reverse look instead of obviously black text. It's black background and white text. And I love that for the heart and the diamonds. This is the second edition of the Illusionist series. They put red in the hearts and the diamonds. And that's the only hint of color in them. And oh man, those are slick. But that got me looking at the other novelty, custom, et cetera, cards that are available on Amazon. Look at these ones. These ones are kind of fun. Gold cards.
Ooh, that's a purchase.
So they're kind of slick, right?
Ooh, I like that.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Now and they're waterproof too, and they're actual gold foil. They're 24 karat gold foil. But then I came across these. And in case you didn't know, I'm a fan of cyberpunk, more cyber noir than cyberpunk. But holy shit, there's cyberpunk cards. Look how slick these are. Look at these.
I never thought of that I would ever in my entire life get someone to talk to who was fanboying about card decks.
What? What do you mean? What?
I don't know. Like, of all the conversations that I ever imagined myself having with anybody on the planet, this was not one of them.
Come on, because when I saw cyberpunk, I thought, how are you going to make cards look
That's how.
Yeah, I mean, they're available in multiple colors, like there are 4, but the purple ones with the black backgrounds are clearly the slickest. Like,
wait. Do they have
look at
red?
all the detail?
Do they have red?
Yes, they do. Yeah, red is one of them.
Let me see.
I think red. Red is one of the. Oh no! No. Here they are. Yeah, let's see, red.
Obviously, purple is the slickest. No, not when they have red.
No, the purple is the slickest. Whoever said that is clearly correct. See, but they're not as cool because they're the ones with. Look how long it takes to load. This is life with a potato, people.
Yeah. So donate to Poly to get him to upgrade.
See, they have the as it's slowly loading, you'll see it, instead of having the black background, they've got the. So I mean, they're nice, but I like the.
All right. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't think the red would have popped enough off of the black, so they went with a white background. That's my guess.
Maybe. Those
so yeah, I would love to get these cards. They're, I mean, $10 for a pack of cards is pretty pricey, but come on, man! Like, did you see the?
Apparently, according to Daniel Fullman, that they could glow under, like in the dark, glow in the dark.
That what's interesting is I was looking at a different. There's so many cards out there. One that's actually pretty cool in terms of cash grabs is there's Star Wars decks. There's a light and dark side of the Force decks. And so like the king is Vader, and the designs are actually pretty cool and so forth. So anyway, there's endless amounts of different themed 52 card decks. And some of them are pretty cool. And there's cabaret ones that glow that have black light reflective. They're not glow in the dark, but they will glow under black light, which is pretty cool. But they should. You're absolutely right. For the Cyber Noir, they completely dropped the ball on that one. They absolutely should have had them black light reactive.
Oh, certainly, absolutely.
You like these ones?
This is my card back for my card deck that I'm making.
Oh, cool! This is your design.
Well, no, actually, I just pulled it off the internet because I wanted it to look pretty.
Oh, I was about to compliment you.
I don't have all the time in the world. If you want to make me a background for my card deck, Polly, you're welcome to. In fact, I would appreciate it.
You know what? I might take you up on that because I'm always when I'm. Keep in mind, I don't play video games, and I've become kind of efficient with my research, so I'm not like spending as many hours doing it as I used to when I was an undergrad. I can do it much more quickly and efficiently.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm always telling that to Monkey. He's like, why do you spend so much time on these Photoshops? And I'm like, think about me working on Photoshop like you grinding in video games. Yeah. I don't grind out 7 days to die for hours and hours and hours, and no complaints. I hear you. It does seem like fun. I used to grind video games like SNES back in the day when I was a little kid, but not anymore.
Yeah.
So the point is like, it's like, well, I'm playing a video game right now when I'm on this stream, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm just ticking away on this Photoshop image. So where was I going with this?
You're not wasting your time, and you find yourself.
No, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. And so like, yeah, I could see what occurs to me with the,
if you want to, it's totally up to you. Just,
Okay. So that reminds me of two other things.
Yeah.
See, the caffeine struck now, so I'm all scatterbrained.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo!
Polly, I love this.
Somebody asked me previously, how are the merch t-shirt designs coming? Very well, thank you. That was like an hour ago that somebody asked that, and I read it and forgot to ask because chat moves and we're talking, and you know how it is. I've got 2 of them done, but I'm falling victim to my own. A work of art is never finished; it's just abandoned. That kind of thing. I don't think of what I'm doing as art, but I understand the sentiment. You know what I mean? There's some things that I just have to call done. I've got 2 of them done, and then like 6 of them started, if that makes sense. And I just had to finish them off, which leads me to the other thing. If you want to send me the background image that you put together for Cocktail Hour, I like the thumbnail look. I do. I like the colors of it, and I like the general design of it.
Yeah, and but you want to doctor it up?
You know what it says under the text? It says Cocktail Hour.
What? It says.
Yeah. What is the correct answer? I nor anyone else can read it.
Seriously? Wait.
It's so small, Weebo.
All right, no. The thumb with Polydub and Weebo Jones.
But you have to hit Control minus a whole bunch of times, or zoom out, whatever, using the zoom tool, and see to
the people can
shrink it down to the side. Okay, yeah, but look how large you just made it. When did people ever see a thumbnail that big?
Is it really that? Like, you can't.
Like, Cocktail Hour is readable, but it needs to be even bigger. Like, I like it, I really do, but it's like nobody can read it.
Why didn't you say this to me months ago, Polly? All right, we've been using the same thumbnail for months now.
You've got 10,000 subs. You put out all kinds of content. You've got vidIQ. You're all into the numbers and the things. You're a professional content creator. I take advice from you. How did you not know this?
Because I'm not perfect, contrary to what you and everyone else believes. I am only human. I too make mistakes.
Actually, what an opportunity. Conspiracy Occult Illuminati and NWO Media Review asked, what is Cyber Noir? Well, since you asked.
Hold that thought first, because I have one thing that I have to do. And it's this. Hi, thank you, Evolved Potato, for donating. Does Far know that you're modifying, that you're making modifications to her Far bar, Polly? Yeah, Polly. Does she? Does she?
It's none of her damn business. I'll get that lease back if it fucking kills me. The little sneak stealing my bar ownership out from underneath me.
It happens to the best of us.
You return to the future for a week and you come back and the girl that you let keep juice boxes under the bar stole your shit.
It happens.
God damn it. What was I saying?
You were talking
Cyber
about
Noir. Cyberpunk is really difficult and hard to describe. Hopefully, like, you already know what cyberpunk is. If you do, it's Cyber Noir is it's a cyberpunk setting done like along the lines of a noir movie. So detective fiction. It's grimier, moodier, less about the technology and more about the
attitude.
Yeah, and the alcohol, depression fueled lives of the people within the environment rather than the environment itself. It's less about body modifications and the tech that runs the world, as often is the case with cyberpunk, and more about the attitude and the vibe. It to me, it strikes me as a much more human cyberpunk than cyberpunk is, because it's more about the people. If you've ever seen a noir film, whatchamacallit is the ultimate cyber noir film that influenced everything else. Blade Runner.
Yes.
Because he's a detective and he's moody and he drinks, and it's yes, it's a story inside of a cyberpunk setting, but it's really much more about what the characters are doing and saying and feeling and thinking than it is about the tech that they're using. So yeah, if you Gibson's books, that sort of thing. Yeah. I really don't think Blade Runner defines the end of what cyber noir should be, like some people do. I do think it's a fantastic film. I'm a huge fan, but there's lots to be done there. Weebs, did I ever tell you that I'm putting together, because I am a time traveling bartender, right?
Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. And Noir Bar is located in 1942.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because time travel.
Yeah.
I was thinking of traveling to a near future dystopia and having a cyber noir bar.
Mm-hmm. But obviously, that would not do.
Why?
Because you, a classy man from the past, living in the past, wishing he could be in the past.
I should be in the past.
You should be in the past.
You haven't. Speaking of which, you wanted to Peggy Carterize your wardrobe a little. Have you pursued this end anymore?
I've been experimenting with my hair and curling it so I'm about to learn you gentlemen a thing, because hair is a little bit more complicated than just right. My hair
I'm gonna learn you gentlemen a thing. Weebo Jones 2020.
I am. So
just like the way you put it,
naturally straight, which a lot of people are very jealous about, because for whatever reason we live in a world where people with curly hair are jealous of people with straight hair, and people with straight hair are jealous of people with curly hair, because we want what we don't have or what we can't have.
Sure.
And my hair is very naturally straight. This is usually a good thing. And it can be, certainly. You can do a lot with very straight hair. You can do a lot. And I do a lot. But what I can't really do, because it's so thick, because it's so long, and because it's... Excuse me. I was about to throw that, but then I remembered I don't have the screen protector on it. So, what I can't do with my hair is I can't curl it very well for very long. I can certainly put it in braids and leave it wavy. And that works, but it doesn't get the curl that I want it to get that allows me to do that look, to achieve that Peggy Carter look for very long. I need to master the hair curler. I'd have to probably get a haircut up to maybe like here, give or take. And that's a little bit shorter than I want to go. In addition to that, I'd probably need to grow out some of my baby hairs as well, because I have a lot of flyaways as a result. So it doesn't.
You have a lot of flyaways because you haven't let your baby hair grow out?
I have a lot of flyaways because I have a tendency to rip out the like pointy bits, the parts that don't quite stick into a ponytail very well. They fall out, and then I end up cutting them so that they look a little bit better.
Yeah.
And as a result, I just have a whole bunch of baby hairs that don't grow out, that don't get a chance to grow out.
Got it.
Which is my own thing that I have to handle. But yeah. Turn off. It's my phone, not a sex toy. Thanks though. Golden Age Radio. Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just. I was reading an article the other day that vibrating fleshlights don't sell very well.
Really now?
What?
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 Why were you reading about this, Polly?
I was scanning around in trash tabloids, meaning modern media, for articles and stuff to talk about on Noir Bar. And that was one. It's like, vibrating is more popular with women than men, and I'm like, what?
No.
And so they achieved their end. It was a clickbait title, and I clicked on it, bastards. But apparently, vibrating fleshlights don't sell very well.
I didn't even know that they had them, to be quite frank.
Because the sugar walls don't really vibrate, as I'm sure you're aware.
No, I didn't know that. Why would I know that, Polly?
Well, I'm just saying, I don't get it. Like, dicks don't vibrate. I don't know what's up with girls.
I would like to address this question in the chat from Daniel Foreman. How did you do on the test with the 3x5 note card? Did it help? It did help, but I have no idea what grade I got yet, because she hasn't finished grading it yet, which pisses me off because she's had a week and a half.
Wow, a week and a half?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying you're pretty generous with your considering a certain length of time has passed such that you should be starting to get concerned or miffed. I have absolutely had students going, we did that test on Monday. It's Thursday.
Yeah, we did that test the 21st of February. It has now been a week.
How many people are in your class generally, like around?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not even kidding. I've taught classes where the Monday, okay, it was the test, and we're not talking multiple choice where they're just circling some shit or filling in a little bubble. And we're talking written fucking responses.
Well, yeah, that was
with over 80 fucking students in the class. And I've had motherfuckers emailing me all bent out of shape that it's like, when are the tests coming back? I feel that it's been plenty long, like with all this passive aggressive bullshit in it. And it's like, get fucked. I mean, you realize I have my own classes, right? Like that I'm in doctoral seminars, like what they call classes by the time you get to the doctoral level. It's like, I have my own homework to be doing. Like, I understand that you're all worried about your little fucking third-year undergraduate life, but...
Well, okay, so part of that is...
Okay, I'm a little angry about it.
No, I get it. Part of that is probably because their parents are on them about their test grades, too, because my dad is like that. He's like, did you get your test grade back yet? Did you get your test grade back yet? And I'm like, no.
Oh, really? I never even considered that angle because, that's just...
Because we, undergrads, we tell our parents about important tests that we have is a reason for like why we don't call them or why it is we're stressed out or stay on the phone for very long. And you're like, I'm studying for a test. It's been really hard, Dad. I need you to send me a care package or something, etc., etc. Because
so you use it as a cheap excuse to get stuff, thus you need
actually,
to.
no, I've never done that, but I have used it as an excuse to be like, well, see, this is why I am exhausted because I have been doing X, Y, and Z for X amount of hours straight. And so, yeah, I get that if that's the case. But yeah, have you finished grading our test the Monday after the test on a weekend, and there are 80 students that have taken the test? Like, yeah, I get how you would be peeved about being asked that question. But my professor has had plenty of time to grade our 15 exams. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an actual life outside of our class anyway, so it's fine. I think.
Wow. We have some really competitive people in our friend sphere, Weebo.
We do.
Eve is streaming against us, and Blind Press is streaming against us. My God.
To be fair, we are overtime by like half an hour.
No. We have no time limit. We have a minimum time limit, but we have no we established this.
True. We did. We've let it be known.
Next 6 minutes says, Polly, should I cosplay as Peggy Carter? I already have the hair, bro. No, unless I mean, if you want to, you can, but I mean,
I would like to invest in some clothes that are similar to the way that she dresses, though. I honestly would, because I do need to start dressing a little bit more professionally than this. Not gonna lie.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna cut it in the business world. I don't think when I'm at a company.
All right, Jordan 250's out. All right, have a good day, Jordan. Or well, have a good rest of your work shift, I guess.
Bye. Daniel Fillman, how did you occupy your time on the long flight to and from Paris? I watched a lot of movies because we had the in-flight entertainment system, but then I also tried to sleep, and that did not work because I do not sleep very well sitting up, believe it or not.
Well, see, here's the thing. Ryan Walters says, listen here, you piss ants. It's, it's an unfortunate thing of human psychology, which I understand, but it's still, I bemoan and lament it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
You can have 10 students tell you something nice or 10 friends tell you something nice, and then one person who fucks with you, and the one that's going to stand out is one who fucks with you.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, it's a little personality type oriented where some people take it a lot harsher than others. But when it comes to students making an issue, when you're TAing or teaching, the times that I've done it, they can make your life bad, and I don't think they realize it. Like, do you have an actual issue? Because when you write on those fucking student reviews, something like took way too fucking long to return tests, or, deviated from the fucking course syllabus or whatever, like, you realize that we're called to answer for that, right?
Yeah.
And it all depends on degree. It's always a question of degree that I'm bringing up. I'm not saying don't do it. This isn't a zero. Oh, if there's a problem, I should just shut up. No, 0 or 100% binary thinker. Get fucked. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying have a little bit of fucking judgment about yourself. Is this actually a problem? Or is it a problem because you, in your tiny little myopic world, think that it is?
It's funny you bring this up because now I'm having war flashbacks to when I was a TA a few years ago.
Tip your TAs. No, don't tip your TAs.
Totally.
That will get your TA in a lot of fucking trouble. Sorry, that made me laugh. I've never heard anyone say that before.
Well, because we put.
Sorry, you were saying your war flashbacks. I actually want to hear this.
Yeah. Okay. So I used to be a TA for a theater production and design class, wherein we talked about set design, lighting of the stage, and costume design. And they had little projects that they had to complete in each of those areas. And there were a few things that were a little bit hard to grasp conceptually about the things that they were learning. So, for instance, in set design, when you're designing a backdrop or like a wall,
Okay.
they call it in theater, there are certain measurements that you have to take into account. You have to do it just so with a specifically architectural ruler so that you have the actual dimensions exact for when the carpenters cut out the wood for the wall. And that was their project, to design a wall with the exact measurements, exactly as he had showed them in class. And so I'm sitting in my house last year, just chilling, doing my thing, when I get an email from some students at like 11 p.m. at night, desperate for my help.
Yeah.
You know where this is going, right?
Yeah. I'll gotten those emotional, desperate emails at odd hours. Yes. Yeah.
And I think this is the first time I ever had to deal with this. And so I had not had experience saying, no, I'm sorry, but this is outside of my office hours. And you should have come to me during my office hours, or at least during a reasonable hour, not 11 at night on a Sunday evening, you know?
Yeah.
But I hadn't had the experience in saying no yet. And so they email me and they're like, can we do Google Hangouts or whatever? And so I'm Google Hangouting with these people, trying to explain to them the project and how it's supposed to work. And that's all fine and dandy. But then it kept happening. And I'm like, all right, Tim, the guy who I was working under.
Docs.
Yeah, okay. Tim, can't keep doing this.
There's only like 3 Tims in the entire continental United States. Well done, Weebo.
Yep.
Go on, you're saying.
Tim, we can't keep doing this. They have to understand that there are reasonable times for them to bother me about this nonsense, because believe it or not, on a Sunday evening at 11 p.m., I am going to be asleep more likely than not. This is a bull-faced lie. But
right.
But there are reasonable times to be bothering somebody about a project that you've only just started and is due the next day. You know?
Mm-hmm. Responding to like there's I would have never Google hangoutisms with a student. Never. And it's for the reasons you named, and also it is explicitly against the rules now, which brings up a question. Of All Potato says, if your TA is a girl, can you give them the tip? Well, I'll tell you this. I don't know, Weebs, do you y'all at theirs campus have rules against rules in place regarding professors and TAs dealing with students?
No, I actually didn't get any stipulations that I had to adhere to. I just had to have office hours and show up to class every once in a while to be like, hey guys, I'm a resource available to you. Hi. But it was very lax. There weren't a lot. There wasn't a lot that I was supposed to do, except for at the end of the semester, I had to write up like a thing of what it was that had happened, and I could put on my resume, but I didn't get paid for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just got credit.
Gotcha.
It's
so
very lax.
Like, you know how the course syllabus is like a contract with the department and between the department and the professor and the student, right?
Yeah.
They take it like, for Chad, if you don't know the syllabus, like the course outline basically is taken deadly seriously by departments and faculties. Because it does have critical information in it, like what constitutes your grade. 20% for this, 30% for that, etc. Right?
Yeah.
And that cannot deviate off of that, because you've given it to the students and you've told them, and it would be wrong to change that halfway through the semester. You can change it, but you have to notify everybody in a very particular way in a set up procedure.
Yeah.
That everybody is aware that you've changed it and etc. You know what I mean? There's also other stuff in there, like how to contact your office hours for the who the TA is, what your email addresses are, your office phone number, if you're the TA, when your office hours are going to be, the reading list, the required books, the what the subjects for each week are going to be, the reading assignments, all that stuff is in there, so it's considered crucial. Then there's the boilerplate stuff. the cut and paste stuff that comes at the end of a course outline or syllabus that is just cut and pasted and added in, and is required to be cut and pasted precisely verbatim and added in, because it's all of the legal shit and the policy shit
stuff, like the academic integrity policy.
Amen. And I don't know if for you they included in the without a specific express consent of the professor or the instructor or the TA, you cannot record conversations with them, be it for academic appraisal, during office hours, or during discussions of any matter of, I forget the particular wording, but there's like 7 commas where it lists off, or any other academic encounter of any sort between your TA. And you know when that happened? When that got included for us?
When?
After the Lindsay Shepherd episode.
Really? Yeah, no, that didn't happen to me. Like, I didn't have that at all.
The idea, and it's like, it's to put a chill, people talked about it. Nobody actually asked any of the, I'm not saying it wasn't my department that did it. It wasn't even the faculty that did it. It was like university wide. And at the old campus I was at, where I did my undergrad, I was talking to a friend who's still there doing grad work, and I was like, is this there? It's like, yeah. I'm like, so many universities. Like, and the reason why they want to put a chilling effect on students to not record conversations. There already is a thing set up that you are not to be recording your professors without their consent, like meaning the classroom, the lectures.
Yeah.
That was already included, but they extended it to discussions and stuff, because that's what Lindsay Shepherd had done. She had gone into that tribunal, which is what it was. Let's call it what it was. It was a fucking social justice, well, actually diversity and inclusion tribunal, to hold her accountable for something that her professor, I'll never forget that guy's name, Rembukana, because it's a fairly memorable name, and 2, he grilled her in such an obnoxious way. And Lindsay Shepherd was ballsy. Like, even though she cried, she still held her ground. It was impressive. Like, that was, I don't think you guys can understand the pressure of 3 people telling you that you just violated the policy and the country's human rights codes. Like, the pressure, y'all. I can't even imagine somebody like my supervisor. Like, this was her supervisor doing this to her. I can't imagine my own supervisor throwing me under the bus like that. And the diversity and inclusion officer, I've never even had a discussion with our university's diversity and inclusion officer.
Oh, I've seen ours around quite frequently, actually. She is very distinct.
I would have to look, because our campus is definitely large enough that I'm positive it's an office with multiple people. I'd have to look up who it is, but man, I can't imagine the first time you're encountering this individual, they're sitting there nodding along as they're accusing you of this long list of things. So anyway, the chilling effect is that if you record a conversation, you have now committed an act of academic misconduct.
Yeah. Because
they put it in the course outline that you're not to do it. So if they find out that you did it, then yeah, that's bad news for you. Really bad news.
Yeah, no, we don't have such protective measures. I don't recall seeing those in the syllabus when I was reading through it, because he did send me a copy of the syllabus and everything else that I needed for the semester, but it was pretty chill. I just had like a weekly meeting with the professor that I was TAing for, office hours, show up to class, open contact with the professor. I actually go over to his house frequently, because I'm friends with his wife too, and they have chili cook-off things annually. So, like,
that's never at my university would that ever happen. Things are way too tense for that. Like,
no, we have a pretty relaxed campus for that.
Like, it's your professor's a male, right?
Yeah.
Never. That there would be an automatic assumption that he was taking advantage of you because of the power differential in your relationship.
But they invite all the students over for the chili cook-off.
Oh yeah, but that would just be to dissuade the fact that he's, he would be obscuring his patriarchal, misogynist advantage taking of you.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, we don't have that kind of
for this understanding to happen, you have to remove, for this environment to exist, you have to remove 100% of agency from the people that you've identified as the victim class, and then put 100% power and authority within the person you've identified as the oppressor class. It's the only way that it makes sense or follows any kind of reasoning. Like it is not written anywhere, but it is made very, very clear to you. You are never, ever, ever to meet with students as a TA with your office door closed. Leave your office door open. Never, ever get caught in just you and a student alone. Especially a member of the, like, of course they are implying, especially with a member of the opposite sex. And they're telling it to male students, not female students. Or like male TAs, not female TAs. And the thing that people, professors, joke about most oftenly, it's kind of like an open secret. You know how many instructors marry their supervisees?
No.
You're not supposed to be banging your supervisor as a grad student. You're not supposed to be banging your supervisor. And here's the joke. It's wrong. It will get you fired. It will get you nailed with academic misconduct unless you get married. And then it's fine, because it's like, and it was the last instructor I talked about this. She was female, and she said, I married my graduate supervisor. And she said, and it would have been the end of my academic career, his academic career, but we got married, so it's fine. And it's like, geez, that's so weird, because once you're married, what are they going to say about it? Nothing. And again, it's all social convention that's going on. It's like, this is obviously an older man taking advantage of a younger, impressionable woman. And unless you get married, and then it's like, now all of a sudden that evaporates and it's not a problem. It's weird.
Yeah, that's not the feeling that I get at all in any capacity at my school. But we are a very small college. Personal relationships with the professors, like, I talk with my senior thesis professor for psychology about like personal things in life too that were going on at the same time as we were talking about my thesis itself, because we had the time to, and I like to think that we became somewhat friends, but that was also a dude, and we spent Friday afternoons for maybe an hour plus together, and that was it, in his office, just talking.
You know what's funny? Ryan Walters is like, there are students who do develop friendships with professors when you hear it's like, so are you coming over for dinner on whatever? Like I remember this in my master's program, you would hear that. It was uncommon, but it had, so like, it's not like it's a nonstop tension on every campus that I've been with. That does happen with students going over, but it's rarefied. It's less common simply because of the amount of students. I think the things that I'm talking about have more to do with the size of the campus.
Probably. My campus is relatively small, so that's really nice. I can talk to a professor and be like, hey, do you want to go grab a beer? Oh, are you giving me your jalapenos that you have on your desk that have been sitting there for like 2 days that no one else picked up? Yeah, sure. I literally have a jar of jalapenos from a professor in our fridge right now.
And you know what? There are professors like my supervisor I talk about, like, not deep personal life stuff, because we're both dudes, so like no. But there's, I mean, conversations I've had with different instructors, they definitely stray outside the academic. Like, it's just different things. Yeah. Movies or whatever. That definitely happens. But you know what I think is a big deal of it is the environment in general. There's professors that make the environment like that. And if there's one person there doing it, they spread that tension to everybody else in a really weird way. So if you have 3 or 4 of them in a department doing it, they have more or less put a pall over everybody. Ryan Walter says, not everything you do and the time you do it, and write it in pen. Okay. I hear the point you're making. You should see what these people do. The kind of instructors that I'm talking about. If you have a conversation with them, they will email back to you like 15 minutes after you've had the meeting with them, the gist of your conversation. So it's recorded digitally and time-stamped, and they've put their personal spin on the conversation.
That makes sense. It's one way to protect yourself.
But this is what I mean. The environment of tension is it that there is a need to notarize, as it were, everything that's happening. And it's so they can hold you to stuff, even unreasonable things. And it's like, wait a minute, that isn't what we agreed upon, though. but they just put it in an email. So now you have the option upon you as a grad student to respond to it and argue with them, at which point you're going to look petty and start an argument through email, or accept that you just agreed to do something that you didn't actually agree to do because they emailed you saying you did.
So then email them first.
I have actually done that with professors, and I ended up doing, as a grad student, there's a power relationship. You can't, like, just to outline our last conversation, you can't really talk like that, or you shouldn't, if you know what I mean. You passive aggressively write it in the form of a question. You ask for clarification on something that you didn't need clarification on, and thus the justification for the email.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the particular aspect of the conversation that you want digitally notarized, you'll write them back and be like, so just to be clear, you wanted blah, 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 right? Question mark. Because this is what you said in the conversation we had 15 minutes ago. Hey, hey, hey. But again, it's only with certain absolutely only with certain instructors that you need to be that way. There's certain people that it's like, you are an administrator masquerading as a scholar. You shouldn't even really be in this environment. You should be off as a middle manager somewhere, walking around as a petty motherfucker, telling people if you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Oh gosh, your college experience and atmosphere is so contrasted to mine. Like, there is not a lot of overlap that I'm hearing about right now.
Talk to people that go to the giant universities. Especially, your Harvard, your Yale, your.
So glad I went to a small college.
Oh man, you are such a fucking, like, I hear their stories, and it's like, you are so intensely a number in a system. It's redunculous how far it goes. And it's like, I feel like a warm hug of an environment compared to the stories I hear from Ivy League people.
I don't like it. You're giving me chills. Shall we say the next 3 minutes? Because I want to go to bed. I have an early morning class.
Well, who signed up for the 8 a.m.? Who was that?
I really wanted to take artificial intelligence, Polly. So
I get it. Oh, we haven't had our debate about the Chinese room yet.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
Well, I don't even think we're going to debate. Our discussion, I don't even think we disagree on much. But yeah, whatever.
So we will be accepting questions from the chat if there are any. Can you set your office hours in the middle of the night, Polly? Said Evolved Potato. I don't think so. At least I don't think that would make any sense.
There's never been a limitation, but you know what? I think that's one of, it's like the saying historians use. There's no rules against elephants in church.
Yeah.
Right.
Technically you can, but no one does.
Yeah, it's like, so when studying history, if there isn't a rule against something, if there's a rule against something,
someone had to have done it before.
Yeah, that means somebody actually tried it. So it's a historian's thing, like a way of inferring something with documentary evidence that it happened. Well, there's a rule against it. It is a reasonable assumption that it happened because somebody made a rule against it. And since there's no rule against elephants in church, it's a safe assumption nobody ever tried bringing an elephant into church. And so it's like, there is no rule against making your office hours in the middle of the night. So I think it's a safe assumption nobody's ever tried it.
You're welcome to try it if you would like, Polly, and then let me know how that turns out.
You know what? I'd like to try it. Let's say I want to set my office hours at 2 p.m. Just write it as 2 a.m. and submit it and see if anyone notices, especially the professor. I'm going to try that next time I'm TAing. It was an accident, man. Like,
Do it.
I meant to put PM. I will. Because what's the consequence? It was an accident. I just want to see if anybody asks me about it.
Weebo, get any souvenirs in Paris? A tiny Eiffel Tower. I actually collect spoons. The little souvenir spoons from places across the world. I have a small collection of them, and I would like to improve that collection. What? Why is that funny?
Grandma Jones in the making. If you ever wondered what a grandma looks like at 21 years old, look right now. This is what...
How does that make me a grandmother?
No, you know what? You need to come join Far and I in the old people before their time group.
Okay.
We both knit. We both like backgammon.
Wait,
You can
you
bring
knit?
your little you can bring your little spoons, and we'll all be old before our time.
Little spoons.
I
They
do
are.
knit. It's very zen.
Yeah. What
But
do you knit?
what do you mean?
Like what?
Wool.
But into what?
Oh, I'm actually not as skilled as Far is. I knit scarves over and over again.
God, you are a grandmother.
Well, okay, it's like because I like the patterns, like cable knit, regular overstitched, purling. Like I like the techniques, if you know what I mean. Whereas Far makes hats and knits the little wool plushy animals and stuff, like because she got all of her grandmother's knitting stuff. So all the wool, all the needles, all the things. I got into it because a friend who was doing their master's degree in psychology suggested, it's like, do you know that like if you got anxiety issues, like there's a bunch of things that they'll suggest, and one of them is knitting, because you have to concentrate enough to pay attention to what you're doing, but it only demands like 30-40% of your concentration. So you can watch a movie while doing it, and it's enough activity with your hands that it draws enough of your attention to not let your mind wander to anxiety provoking things, if that
I
makes sense.
should knit because I like to keep my hands busy whenever it is that I'm watching TV or whatever. So I find myself
Amen. Amen.
There,
I don't know if you guys have heard it, but I keep opening and closing this knife like I'm a fiddler.
Yeah.
And that's the yes, I love having my hands occupied. Knitting might be for you. It's very zen. It's very stress relieving. I don't knit to knit. I knit because it's a repetitive action. Fiddling with your hands is something you're doing, and it's actually productive. Yeah.
I should pick up knitting. You're right. I am a grandmother.
But that's what I'm saying. You can come play backgammon with us and bring your little spoons, and we'll all drink tea together and talk about how things were better in our day.
I like
those damn kids, etc.
Those damn children in my
we'll all learn how to play pinochle together, because I assume that to be an old person's game, even though I don't know if it is.
Oh, why stop at pinochle? Shanghai rummy. Let's go all the way.
Oh, somebody mentioned way back in the day, they said, I learned to play spades in the military, but then I didn't like playing it anymore because not because of the game, but because of the people I was playing with. I got sick of spades. Spades is a great game, great card game if you don't know how to play it. It's totally worth it.
I'll check it out.
Angela crochets. It's actually pronounced crotchet.
And on that note, we are at time, Polly. Say goodnight.
Good night.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we got to do the outro. Thank you to all who joined us this evening for our lovely show. Thank you to all who donated to both myself and Polly. We will make very good use of your funds in the ways that they are needed. Thank you to those who commented, who liked, who shared, who subscribed to Polly and myself, and who will do so upon viewing of this once it has been processed and republished onto the YouTube platform. Polly, thank you for joining me, as always. And do you have anything to shill?
Chill, not specifically, other than my channel, and there. You push the little 3 buttons beside my name. It'll take you to my channel. I just put J in chat. I just clicked any button on my keyboard and it came up as J.
Good.
Thank you to. What's that?
When's our collab coming out? Are you shilling that this week too?
Shh. I'm going to show you. God damn it, Weebo. No, it will get done. I'm grinding away on it. I'm doing a little bit at a time, but it is so slow going. Like adding, oh man, it's so hard. I don't want to spillage what it is, like spoil it by just telling people. Okay. Anyway, go check out my channel. Noir Bar happens there. Comic book curation happens there. It's all great stuff. Thank you everybody for the donations. No, I won't be spending your generous donation money on
smoking jackets.
Yeah, $10 playing cards and shit. Don't worry, it'll be going towards my potato fund to make better content and streams and such and the like.
Yee!
Thank you.
All right. I don't have anything to shill other than I'll probably be uploading another review during this week. I
You don't
haven't
want to show your
decided.
hot takes video you just put up?
Oh, yeah, I did a hot takes video, a review of the last month of February of all of the fun news that I found interesting that I had hot takes for. But other than that, I haven't decided between. I have a few video ideas that I have that I want to put out. The problem with believing all women, it's a scam, something to do with who's to blame for Clinton losing, all this jazz. We'll see what I decide to finally produce because they're in the works, but taking up so much of my time. Anyway, also, it should be noted that next weekend, Boyfriend is coming to visit to celebrate our 5th anniversary.
So he'll be streaming with us. That's very nice.
No. He'll be leaving before we stream, but that weekend I will be a little bit busy. So if anyone wanted to make plans with me that weekend, those are unfortunately unavailable. Sorry.
Do you plan your social cards online?
Sometimes.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, like I planned a hang session with Eve for last night a week ago, I think. So, like, I mean, like that.
Women are so weird. I know girls who do this. Like, you want to get together for coffee? Yeah, sure. When? Well, how about 1 p.m. next Thursday? What? I thought you meant this afternoon. Not fuck. I don't know. Call me then. Anyway, let's.
That's how I roll, Polly. All right.
Damn, girls be weird.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good evening and a good rest of your week. And I will see you back here, same time, same place, same face, same otter. Bye.
Woohoo!